Yo, Carlos, my man, what up?
What's going on, brother?
Bro, welcome to the Downs, Tim, bro.
I love the name. I love the name.
Bro, I've been hyped to get you on the pod, bro.
I'm so hyped to talk to you, man. You've been
Bro,
supporting me for a long time, so I'm very happy to be here.
let me introduce you real quick so that people know who I got up in here real quick. We got Green Dragon Fighter. We got Doom Squad MMA Fighter. We got, you might know him from fighting on Combate Global. You might know him from the India YMCA. You might know him from all around. We're going to hear his story today. Got my boy Carlos Puente Jr.
Yes,
What's up, bro? Welcome to
sir.
Downstream.
Hell yeah, man. Like I said, super happy to be here. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Bro, did you had training today?
Yeah, man. I had a super long, actually, like since I train every single day. I literally can't tell you when I have a day off. So
You're
on
always
on
just ready to
Friday,
go.
yeah, I'll tell you like from Friday because I feel like Friday was an extra hard day. I did 10 rounds of sparring. We did five kickboxing with big gloves. Then we did five MMA rounds with like smaller, poofier gloves. So we did 5 and 5, 5 minute rounds, and then we did a couple more like scrambles, some drilling. Saturdays and Sundays are my lifting days. And so I always try to push it. The guys there at the PR garage, my coaches Ryan and Preston, big shout out to them. They know what they're doing, man. They know how to push us. And so I did that Saturday and Sunday. Then I also did a fight sim yesterday. Today I woke up and I kind of took it easy in the morning. But I got to it at 12:30. Then I worked, and then I just got out of class from 8 to 9.
Damn, bro. Okay, so going into a fight, you're locked in.
Yeah,
You're that's your whole day is locked in. Like
my whole day.
it's just we're gonna be focused on fighting. We're gonna be locked in, bro. What is that like? What is your mindset when the day starts and you're like going into that? You're like, all right, it's just I got fighting. I'll see my bed back tonight at 11, or is it like I don't
Yeah, something like
know?
that. Yeah. When I leave the house, it's gonna be like 12 hours so I come back, and even longer until I can actually sit at home and do something.
Bro, who's your next opponent? Do you already know or?
His name is Huascar Cruz. I believe he's from Costa Rica. I hope I didn't get that wrong. No, I think he's from like the Dominican Republic. My friend Carlos is from Costa Rica. I think he's from the Dominican Republic. Huascar Cruz. He fought one of my teammates actually. Two of his fights ago, he beat one of my teammates. Shout out Pac-Man, in LFA. So hopefully I get that one back for the team.
Bro, that's what's up. That's what's up, dude. Like I've watched your last fight again today just to
Heck
brush
yeah.
up. And I was like, oh, my boy's after it. I noticed like a huge leap in from your first fight. Like fighting at on some of the smaller shows to even your first
Yeah.
fight at Combate Global to this fight. It was just you look like a different monster. You look like a predator, bro.
I believe that. Thank you, man. Thank you. I've been working on my craft for 10 years now. So it's taken some time to develop, but I feel like I am where I need to be and who I want to be.
Bro, that's what's up. That's where you're at, in your evolution in 2023. But I got to get back to it, and let's start in the beginning. Let me hear about
Yeah,
young Carlos. Let's hear. Where
let's
you
do
from? Where
it.
you born and raised at?
El Centro, California. It is not necessarily a border town, but very, very close to the border of Mexicali and Calexico.
Dang, that's crazy. I didn't know that about you, but like, yo, I gotta stop and say, yo, my original roots is from the Imperial Valley, bro. Like my grandpa,
What?
yeah, my grandpa and my grandma, they came. My grandpa's born in Brawley,
No
and
way.
yeah, and my all my family's from out there. On my dad's side, my whole family is from El Centro, bro. Like
That's
my
badass. Hell yeah, man.
so
Big shout
weird
out to your
tangent.
fam.
My grandpa's the first. My great grandpa was the first black sheriff's department person. Like some weird shit
Whoa.
happened. Them farm people got him out of there. Yeah, Ben Solomon. Shout out to the Solomons. That like
Wow.
that's a crazy name down there. Like people know
It
it. That's
is.
crazy. Yeah, that's
It rang in my head when you
yeah. You're
said
like
that. I
yeah.
was like,
You're
huh.
like yeah. No, dude, that's so crazy. Okay, so we're late '80s, early '90s. El
This
Centro.
was yeah, I was born in 1989. So like I kind of was raised in the 90s for the most part. I was able to grow up in El Centro. We lived in apartments. It was my mom and dad. And it was like their first generation immigrants. So like they just came over to this side and decided to have a family. So they had me, and then 3 years later ish, my sister Jocelyn, big shout out to her, all the love to her. She was born, and then from then on, we just kept moving. We moved to another apartment in El Centro. I remember that, but by the first grade, like halfway through first grade, we moved to Mexicali. So I actually lived in Mexico for a while.
Okay, that's
Uh,
what's up, bro.
mhm. I started going to school over there, and I knew how to speak the language, but I wasn't educated in Spanish. So like, I didn't even know how to spell things. I didn't know about how to use the accent, you know. So even
Oh
communicating
shit,
was
because
a
you're just
little
kind
more
of pulling
difficult.
up. You're speaking Spanish at home with your mom and dad, so it's like that's whatever. But you haven't been like sitting down, going through like you start
Exactly.
going through preschool. You probably already knew, ABCs 1, 2, 3. So now
Yeah.
it's like you're like, wait, hold up, what?
Now
Yeah,
I got to figure out a different way that this sounds with that, or the new rules in the vocabulary. Yeah, I was just
dang.
learning the language again, but like a little stricter. So, for the most part, because I spoke the language, I was able to sound things out. I was always really curious. I'm always in the car, like reading every single sign that I see, even though it's the same road that I drive over and
No,
over
that
again.
makes perfect sense, bro. That makes perfect sense.
So even as a kid, so I was reading these signs, and I taught myself how to read in Spanish just by like looking at things and trying to like make sense of it, right? So like if I saw a taco stand, I knew that it was gonna say taco. So
Bro,
I was
that's
like, okay, let me
hilarious.
see how to figure this out. So I taught myself like in the second grade how to read in Spanish, and from then on it was a lot easier. I got to advance. We did 4 hours of Spanish. It was a bilingual private school. It was 4 hours of Spanish, 2 hours in English. So I didn't lose like any English education, but I got to say that school was a lot harder in Mexico. We were doing multiplication tables in the second grade, and I remember I didn't even start to learn that like in the fourth until the fourth grade when I
Yeah.
moved back to the U.S.
Dang, yeah, no. My cousins are always like, "You're doing that shit, bro." Like, all
They're
right, tight.
like,
Like that's
oh,
hilarious.
okay.
No, that's hilarious because I could totally relate. I could totally relate to that. So fourth grade, now you're coming back over here,
hmm
um, and so you're like, okay, I'm kind of going back home, or were you kind of like, dang, I kind of got acclimated to this?
I did. I got acclimated to living in Mexico. I thought I was gonna keep playing soccer in the street every single day. That kind of became my first love, my first sport. And literally, like I kid you not, every single day, the whole neighborhood, every kid would come out. We'd get two rocks on that side, two rocks on the other side, and we'd play soccer till like it got super dark.
And just go at it all day,
All day, all day. I didn't even know how we did it.
bro.
I
That's
can't do that now. And Mexicali is too. Like it's hot, man. It's hot like the desert. It might be even hotter than the desert.
dude, it's hot. It has its days where it's different hot. It's
hmm
different. It's got because it could have like kind of like that Gulf or like even Salton Sea, like that humidity will swing down and it's
Yeah,
fucked, and
man.
you're like, oh, what
That
is
yeah,
this, dog? What
that's
is
another level.
this,
You're like, whoa, I've been living here, but this is hitting different.
bro? That's crazy. Do you think that time outside. I mean, you're the oldest boy, so I'm sure your dad's
hmm
like, I don't know, he's fine. He's fine. Go whatever. He's outside.
Yeah,
He'll be home
yeah,
for dinner. It's good.
exactly.
And so
Drinking
you're
from the
out,
water hose, you know what I mean?
right? You're out there really going. You think like kind of because like organized sports is one thing, but when you're playing like by yourself and you guys
Yeah,
generate the game and you care so much, like your pride is attached to like how we do today. It doesn't matter what we did
yeah,
yesterday. It doesn't matter what we're gonna do tomorrow. It's
yeah,
what we did
man.
today. Like I could go off today and I could be a star tomorrow at school. Like it don't matter if you know me or not. Like if
Heck
I
yeah,
come and ball out here with you guys and I'm not gonna get punked out there. Like did that
that's
kind of
right.
start translating you back when you came back over here? Were you still just like, all right, at least I have a little bit of confidence at that age?
Yeah, so I came back, and I did get that confidence just from like even just learning both languages. I was able to communicate really easy with everybody. I still lived like in a border town. I moved to Once we came back to the US, we lived in a town called Heber. It's in between El Centro and Calexico. Heber, California. It's a little town. I
I've
swear it's
never
gotta be
heard of that.
like a little 5 mile circumference. Like that is it. That's the
Not
whole town.
Calipatria, not Westmoreland, not none of
Mm-mm.
that. It's Hebrew. Okay,
It's
all right.
Heber, H E
Heber.
B E
Oh, you
R.
know, I
Yeah.
have seen that, and I said, "Where the fuck is that?" All right.
Yeah, man. Like usually like if you're driving from El Centro to Calexico, there'll be like one Heber road that'll take you
Got
to
you.
Heber.
Okay.
I actually have a really, really, really good friend named Heber Castillo from the desert. You might be familiar with them, but yeah, it's the same exact name. So surprising that I would go to the desert and meet a guy named Heber.
You're like, that's crazy. I'm from where
Yo,
you're named
yeah,
after.
exactly. I
That's
have to
tight.
clarify, I'm talking about the town and not the guy.
Bro, that's okay. So is there like, is it kind of like, do you go to school in one place or the other, or they have their own little
Yeah,
deal there? It's like
they had their own little
you're gonna
deal.
drive over.
So it was so small. I lived on like one side of town and school was on the other side of town, and I would walk there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I could get there in half an hour walking,
Okay.
normal speed. There was one church, one little market, Kennedy Market, and I'm pretty sure that was it. Little stands, little other people, selling stuff out their house, a fayuca, they called it. But yeah, and
Bro,
then
so
school. School was all big one big school. It was elementary from kindergarten all the way to middle school, eighth grade. All in
okay.
like this one giant school.
But everybody probably in that town. I mean, everybody in the Imperial Valley, even even the East Valley,
Hmm.
of the county, like everybody down there kind of has the same background. They're all there for the same thing, same goal. Parents work the same kind of job
Yeah,
or same
man.
like like. So was it kind of like a close knit place? Like,
It was. It was. And because it was so small, from the third grade, like I was still living in Mexicali and we were driving over to Heber and going to school in Heber. We didn't even move back to the US to the next grade. So
bro,
doing that every single day, getting up at like 5 in the morning to cross the border in the car or walking, get a bus to go to school.
bro.
Yeah, that's real shit. And you know what? And my mom did that with us. My dad was working, my mom did that with us. Like that's real parenting
Was
right
your
there. She
mom
really stick
damn?
out for us.
Was your
What's
mom
up?
working? Was your mom working over here, or she would just take you to the border and then go back and do her thing
Yeah,
and
she would
wait
like
for you?
hang out. I think I don't know if she like hung out with fam or she just waited it out. But then yeah, she would grab us and then we'd go back.
That's crazy, bro. I can relate. Shout out my cousin Brisa, bro. Shout out my
Yeah.
cousin Brisa every day, bro. I know that's such a grind to be like, bro. I gotta come to school now. I gotta do it. Like I
Hmm.
can't be like I don't want to do this shit today. It's like now I'm like everyone's invested in me coming
Yeah,
back.
everyone's invested. Yeah, you can't get sick 2 hours into the drive over the border.
No one's
You're
coming
going
to
to
pick you
school. You're
up.
going to
Yeah.
school, man.
Bro, so okay, so there's but like when you come back over, it's easy to make friends right there because everyone's like, I don't know what you're doing, but it's a grind. Whatever you're doing, it's like we're
Hmm.
grinding
Hmm.
too.
Yeah,
So
man.
how long were you
And
down there?
so in Hebrew, I always remember everything by like grades. So I
Yeah,
know
for
that we moved in fourth grade, and we stayed there up until like the end of seventh grade, and then I started La Quinta Middle School in the eighth grade. I remember that. So I learned a lot at Hebrew, and like you mentioned, like it was really close knit. There was a lot of people in this little town that like grew up together. So like my third grade class was also like my fourth grade class, and fifth grade, and sixth grade,
oh
and
shit.
seventh grade, or at least like mostly the
Yeah.
same people. There might
Sometimes
be
new
new
kids
kids,
come or
Yeah,
move, but
exactly.
bro, that's
Yeah.
tight. That's kind of tight. So you
Oh,
come.
one little fun anecdote. Well, fuck, it wasn't that fun afterwards, but they offered me in the seventh grade. Like I started seventh grade and I got taken to the principal's office. I'd already been doing that gate program.
Okay.
Got to hit that T real hard. And yeah, so like they invited me into the principals and they're talking to me and then they're like, hey, if you want, you can skip the seventh grade, go straight to eighth grade. And I was like, no, all my friends are in the seventh grade. I don't want to like move on. I hate those guys. I play soccer with those guys. I'm not gonna hang out with them. And then we moved that year to the desert. So like from the Imperial Valley to the desert. So
So you could have just come
I
over
had
here
new
and been in
yeah.
eighth grade anyways.
Exactly. So like I still did that. Yeah, I did another year. Didn't have those friends. Whatever. But I made a lot of really good friends. I met a lot of new people. Look into middle was like a whole different super different like
Is that like
experience
a
compared
bigger?
to everything.
Well, no, because you were living in Chicago, which is like a big ass city. Like,
But
yeah,
it was a
like,
private school.
but I mean, still, like, you got to go out every day in the buses and there's buildings. I mean, like,
Hmm.
this is like a mid '90s, so it's not as big as it is now. Not that it's like some huge
Yeah.
metropolitan, but I mean, like, I would say like Mecca is bigger than Palm Springs. Like, you got to look at
Oh
Palm,
yeah.
like,
Oh
like,
yeah. It's a
so
real city for sure. It's
so you're
big.
coming, you're going from there. Oh, you're kind of going out to the middle of nowhere to Heber to go to school,
Yeah,
and
middle of nowhere, man.
then you're, and then oh, because you have citizenship, so it's like you're going to
Yeah,
school right here. Like we're going, that's dope. So,
that's
so
right.
they're like we're making the most out of that. You guys are going back over there. You're going to the
Hmm.
doctors. You're going like all right. So when you come back, I ask everyone kind of like in their
Yeah.
lane, what was their first hustle? What was their first, whatever. So right now we're in the fight game. Like, what was your first? Were you scrapping when you got back to Heber? Were you like, nah, boy, ain't no punk? Or was that kind of like that kind of had
Yeah.
to start when you got to Palm Springs? I mean,
No,
when you got to La
actually,
Quinta.
I was always like I was always fighting. I was always fighting people since Heber. It's kind of weird to say. Like I mean, I remember in kindergarten, some kid biting me and me just like socking the hell out of him because I was like, "What are you doing?" You know what I mean? Um, I guess it was always kind of in me, but the real like moment where I knew like I don't know, it was gonna be different no matter what. Like my dad, I got in trouble. I got in trouble for my fight. I'd already been in hella fights, but in like the fifth grade, I want to say, I actually like got caught. Like I hit this kid and I got like they saw us fight.
The
So we
little
had to go
teacher's
to
aide lady
yeah,
came over and broke
to
that kid
like
up.
go to the office, you know. I got detention for the first time. I got
Right.
suspended for the first time, I think. My dad picked me up and I was like crying, just like embarrassed, right? Like I can't believe like I got caught up in all this. Like I'm a bad boy. So my dad's talking to me. Then he's like, "Why are you crying?" And I was like, "I just feel bad, like I'm in trouble. It just sucks." And then he said, "Well, did you lose? Did you get beat up?" And I was like, "No, the guy didn't even touch me." But like, you know what I mean? I feel bad that it all happened. And he was
Everyone
like,
yelled at me.
yeah, I got
It's not a
detention
positive
about it. You know
reaction.
what I mean? And he's like, no, he's just like, you're okay. Whenever somebody like pushes you, I need you to like hit them. And if you do get hit, I need you to hit them twice as much, twice as hard. And I said, all right. And
Bro,
I don't
let's
know why
go.
from then on, like I swear, like it just wasn't gonna be another way.
So you get over, you come to La Quinta Middle, and La Quinta Middle's probably like, I mean, there's probably some asshole kids there. And then I'm just thinking of the kids we know at La Quinta Middle, and I'm like, there's also probably like, hey man, welcome to La Quinta. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
happy to have you here.
It was such a like culture shock. So I was raised, very close to the border. Almost everybody has the same background, the same like family upbringing. Um like so you knew everybody knew the same people, and everybody was Catholic, like everything like, everything was the same. Mexican Americans, 99% of the population, I think, in the Imperial Valley is like Mexican Americans.
Bro, for sure, especially then.
Yeah. So oh, and like a funny thing about all that too is like all of this is like no cell phones. Like back then the weird freedom and like riding bikes everywhere, going to the arcade. Like I remember Mexicali would take a bus to go to the arcade. I was like, man, I couldn't have been older than 10 years old, you know what I mean? No cell phone. That sounds scary nowadays.
Right.
Anyway, back to like the culture shock. La Quinta Middle was like so different. Oh, and a big one was like we wore uniforms at Hebrew school. So from kinder to whatever, we were wearing uniforms. And when I got to the eighth grade at La Quinta Middle, we didn't have to wear uniforms. So everybody had like their own style. And style was like something I just saw outside of school, not in school. There's guys with like mohawks, the baggiest pants I ever seen, band shirts. I'm out here trying to fit
Bro.
in with like my Echo Unlimited.
Oh, this is like 2000, 2004,
Like
or
2001. I don't even
yeah,
know, like two.
2002, three. Yeah,
Yeah.
this, yeah, that was like 5 XLTs and shit was like a thing,
Mhm. Yeah,
Like,
man.
Yeah, that's
Dress
and that
Fat Farm was cool back then, you know what I mean?
bro for real. And then the desert was different. Like the desert had like Jinko jeans and like
Yeah.
other shit. Just like kids were just like, bro, like I mean, new metal was a thing at that point, so kids were super into that. Like,
Yeah, I found out about like pop punk and bubblegum punk and like all these subgenres of music that like I had no idea. Like the closest I'd gotten to what anyone listened to was like MTV, and then this one time I bought like a Warp Tour little compilation, Warp Tour 2003 compilation from Hot Topic. And that showed me like some bands that people knew.
Sum 41 or whatever was
Oh
huge at that
yeah.
point. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Bro, that's tight. Are you still doing sports at that point when you come over here? You still like soccer's a big thing, or are
Actually,
you just like
no.
fuck it? I'm just kind of over here.
That's a great question. No, I stopped soccer, so that's funny. Like I played soccer every single day in Mexicali, and even when I moved to Heber, I joined the school team. I actually got recruited ish. One of the teachers saw me playing, and he said, "Hey man, you should join the team." And yeah, very next day, like I was on the team, scored a goal. I was very good at soccer, by the way. I was really really good.
Like you were nice out
Um,
there,
Yeah, man. My dad would pay me $1 for every goal. And I remember that first season I played with like a club team. In 12 games I scored 32 goals.
bro.
It felt nice.
Wait, hold on, hold on. In 12 games,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
like,
I had one game that I scored 8 goals in.
bro. They didn't have like a run. They weren't like, hey, that kid's gotta sit down. Hey, hey, that little kid. Hey,
uh,
Tin's gotta chill.
Put him down. Put him
Dude,
down. Yeah.
have we seen? Where's he from? We've never even seen this kid before. Oh,
Yep.
you just found him. This kid's
Yeah,
gonna
man.
miss. That's
It goes to
crazy.
show like consistency and stuff. Like out there in Mexicali, I was playing soccer every single day and I thought I was all right. I wasn't like as nice. But once I moved to the US, because I've been doing it every single day, I happen to be like really good.
And playing, not doing like weird ass fucking drills in the park, like
Yeah, man.
like those kids who like get the lessons, and they're like, oh, we're going cone to cone and we're running. I think I know two.
Yeah.
I'm like, no,
Nah.
I was out there running with
Games,
people, games
games,
all day,
games.
full
Yeah,
90, sometimes against teenagers, like
that's right.
like sometimes someone's older brother that really should be at work is like, no, I'm gonna go play
Yeah,
with these. I was like, you're really out
bro.
there playing, so when you come play these little kids, it's like what?
Yeah, man. Oh, by the way, did you do any sports like growing up?
Bro, growing up, so my parents were like super religious and like
Mhm.
super like all of our time was not dedicated to sports, but for some fucking reason, also on the other hand, like it was the one thing we had. So like from a super young age, like we'd be playing basketball. Like my dad would go to like every park and play like hella respected. Like people would be like, oh, this fool's nice. Like he could go anywhere and play.
Yay.
Like he could go
Ooh.
anywhere and play. But that got me like I was also this big my whole entire life.
Hmm.
So like I could play too. Like probably when I was like 12, 13, I'm playing with grown ass dudes like at the park every day,
Whoa,
like every
shit.
day, probably 3, 4 days a week. Like when I got to high school, I played a little bit of baseball, but they were like, "Yo, your grades and shit," and I was like, "Yo, I have a job. I'm not gonna come out for this." And I was like already lying to go there, so like I didn't have home sports. I was like, "No,
Yeah.
fuck this sports thing. I'm going to work. I'm trying to get this paper. Like I'm not
There you
going pro
go. There
anyways.
you
Like
go.
that's what it is."
Yeah.
But like I learned a lot of lessons playing sports as a kid, like getting in fights, like playing. And the other thing is that like I kind of have like a bigger like immediate family, so
Hmm.
my cousin lived like one neighborhood over from me, and he had like hella kids, so we would play like 4-on-4 football in the
Oh,
street.
that's
We play my whole
amazing.
neighborhood play football, like my whole street, like a lot of kids
Yeah.
actually. Surprisingly, like people were like, "Oh, like lived by these kids." Like for a good chunk of school, like all these kids lived on my street, and then just like that basketball every day. Like it was shit. Like we're outside fighting, just sometimes just fighting a fight, playing everything though, soccer, football, whatever we could play.
Dang.
And
Yeah,
like that
man.
was just and like it like progressed, but like never like to a super organized point. But like a lot of life lessons, like a lot of like commitment, respect for myself, like being like, damn,
Yeah,
like
man.
I'm fighting grown ass men out here. My dad ain't out here. I came today. Like I said some shit I shouldn't have said. I'm getting bullied down here. Like what am I gonna do about it? Like that's all
Yeah.
comes from fucking Ruth Hardy Park. Like you know what I'm saying? Whitewater Park and shit.
It made you grow up, huh?
Oh, big time, bro. Like being like, oh, pops is going to work. Like fucking I'm riding my bike to the park. Now it's like, what are you gonna do at the park? Like that's a grown ass dude who just killed a beaver
Yeah.
and is like just got off work and is about to play this game. Like he punched you in the face, you gonna fight or just be like, oh, that's the fool that got beat up. Like,
No way.
like so it's crazy, bro. Like sports taught me a lot. Like especially and like made new friends and shit when I came in. Like there was a couple other kids who were like crazy ass good athletes. Like shout out my homie DJ and like
Hey.
his pops would be at the park doing the same shit. And they'd be making us play each other and shit, like hella kids. Like my shout out my homie
Hell
Dwayne, shout out
yeah.
my cousin Hassan. Like legit, like pops just being like, all right, play this fool. Like, nah, y'all gonna play to 21. Like, and you gotta go. Like it's not just like your pops really just talked enough shit for you. Like now you really gotta go. Like,
Now you gotta show out.
bro, that's crazy. So we're at what? We're at middle school. You're going into high school. You went to
Hmm.
La Quinta or you went to?
Yeah, I ended up going to La Quinta High School, from La Quinta Middle to La Quinta High School.
Okay, and you're already basically ahead because you're in a gifted program. You should have been in eighth
Mhm.
grade. You're already like basically
Yeah,
a tenth grader.
I was in the IB program for a little bit, but I ended up dropping that in sophomore year because I was just like, I don't need this. I'm not trying to go to the best college of all time, you know. I'm trying to just do my thing, go to college, do something that I'm interested in, and then get a job in another thing I'm interested in. To be honest, um, I know we haven't gone through high school, but like one of my first like big dreams was to be like a music video director or just a person that created music videos.
Yeah, so that was your direction. That was literally gonna be my next question. Like, what was your at that point getting into high school? Like, what was your
Hmm.
direction? Was like the arts, music, stuff like that, like
Well, let's
digital
see.
media, or because
I
like
was I
sports and
was really exploring American culture. Like I was really into skating. I was finding out about punk and punk rock and then hardcore and then metal. Like I had no idea what the hell hardcore was, but
which is
here are
crazy.
all
Like that's
these
how I know
guys.
you. Like I know you
Yeah,
through hardcore, which a lot
exactly.
of people be like, what? Like, no, that's my homie through hardcore first. Like,
Yeah, man. And hardcore kind of like dominated most of high school. So like my freshman year was like my cruise like sophomore year. So when I met them, they were like a year older than me. Most of them had band tees. So like just out of curiosity, I started looking them up, you know, on that Bear Share, on that Aries, on that LimeWire, on all that
bro,
stuff.
shout out Pure Volume. Do you remember
Shout
that
out
app?
Napster.
Napster, Pure Volume, early SoundCloud. Like, or not SoundCloud. There was
Yeah.
another orange
You
app.
could, yeah,
Fuck,
because
what
you
was
could still
that?
download from SoundCloud.
Was it SoundCloud? It
Nah,
was no,
maybe it
it was
was.
I don't know. Someone will comment on this and be like, "Yo, is this?" But yeah, no. Shout out Napster, LimeWire, getting fucking your whole computer fucking the worst virus ever because you
Yes.
downloaded something that said just like Eminem 2007 mix or whatever.
Yo,
You're like,
oh my
what?
God, I wanted
or,
everything from Eminem
or
back
you would
then.
download something and it would just be you would you would download something and be like, oh dang, okay, is this there was a link for the. All right, I think this is blacklisted. Let me. I don't click, and then you click it, and then it's just 50 Cent, and you're like,
Yeah.
bro, why is this Ja Rule? Like, why is this? What, what's happening? Why is this,
Straight up in the
bro?
club, it's Ja Rule
Bro,
and
and it's for like a
Ashanti.
47-minute version of it looped, and you just downloaded it to your mom's computer, and now
Yeah,
you don't have
that's
space.
the album.
Yeah, bro. Bro, so
Hey,
you're kind of exploring that. Are your parents like?
yeah.
Are your parents? Did both of your parents come back when you came back? Because I know you said your dad was working,
Yeah.
so I didn't
Yeah,
really.
yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't always
He
work
was
like
living
that for
with us. He was
everybody.
always living with us, but he would like every single day cross the border and like go a little further to Plaster City. He was working at US Gypsum. It's like this big giant fucking factory. And he was there for a long time, like 15 years. Like when I lived in El Centro, when we lived in Mexicali, when we moved back to Heber, he was there. And the reason why we moved to the desert was because he started working at IID.
Oh, okay, cool. That's tight. That's super tight. That's
Yeah,
a big.
man.
That's a big jump for a lot of people, especially
It was his
like
dream. It was like his
the
dream coming true. So like, congrats to him. Big shout out to my dad.
bro. Shout out Pops, bro. So Pops brings you
Yeah.
guys back to the desert. He's working, and
Hmm.
that's like for people that don't know, like working at IID, like your pension set up, everyone's set up, you got medical,
Hmm.
like it's cool for life, bro. Like
Yeah.
if
You
you
want
want
to
to
get
do a
in
hard
there.
ass job, like the best places you can go is somewhere like that. That's the next closest thing to like a government job. Like it's like,
Straight
no,
up.
it basically is a government job. Like you're set. Like so
Hmm.
it's hard
Super good
ass
job.
work, but like it's like it's one of those things that takes care of you in return because you're like
Totally.
you're out there
Totally.
and like
He like he mentions like how much he works. I call him almost every day, and yeah, he's always super busy, but he loves what he does. He loves what he does. He like I said, he got that dream job that he wanted, so
bro,
it's
that's
working
hard.
out
Okay,
for him.
so he's working. You're back in the desert exploring America, like, and he's like, no,
Yeah,
like just go be free, son. Like it's cool. We're
yeah,
doing it over here. Like
straight
you're
up.
cool.
Well, like I always
Is your
got that
mom like,
freedom.
what are you listening to in there? What is that?
Dog, yeah, my mom and dad were like, "Don't play this in the car. Don't. Here's a Walkman. Here's whatever you need. Don't put that shit in there."
I'm not listening to that.
Yeah, I had pop punk, I had hardcore metal, and like I was into it. Like I had no idea. I don't know. I was
It
14,
was just
15, you
normal.
know what I mean? Yeah, it was normal. It was like, well, how do you not like this?
They're just like not. They had no point of reference. They're just like,
None.
what?
They're like, why is this guy yelling? Why is he yelling? Yeah. But no, man, like straight up hardcore like was a big part of my life, and then it shaped so much more of my future. It made me join like so many like shows and places and events and meeting so many friends from like different places as well that like I never would have met, man.
And the internet kind of came on big at that time, like
Yeah,
MySpace and the
yeah.
B9 and all of that. And
Big shout out MySpace. That was everything.
bro, going to the bulletin every Friday to find out what was
The
corrections. Like
bulletin. That's right.
that was like the timeline. The timeline was going crazy on the bulletin feed,
Yeah. That
bro.
was
So
crazy. You could comment on people's like straight up profile. Like it wasn't like a post of a picture or something. It
yeah,
was
you could
just
go straight to their wall and be like, comment.
hmm.
Bro, so much drama started from like MySpace commenting.
Yeah.
That was like the first social experiment. I mean, they had other stuff before that, but that was the first
That was
thing that like
big.
turned on
Yeah,
and was
right?
like, oh shit, like we can talk to people from here. I have friends other places. I'm seeing
We
other
could talk about
shows.
MySpace for like 3 hours.
Like,
Yo,
bro,
I
for
that
real,
was so
like
big. It was big.
that shit was
It was bigger
pivotal.
than all this. It was bigger than Instagram because there was nothing else. There wasn't Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter and whatever else there might be. Like it was just MySpace. Everybody was on MySpace. That's
Everybody,
it.
you could if you like. I think that people now look at Instagram and are like, oh, is this the real Snoop Dogg DMing me? And it's crazy because like when it was MySpace, like that wasn't a fake Snoop Dogg. Like
Yo,
that was years into MySpace before people were like, oh, we'll make a fake profile. Like if you saw somebody and think
yeah.
that was real, and if you had one friend that came to visit through your parents or something, and they like, yeah, I got a MySpace too. Now you're like, oh shit, I got 80 friends in New York, and like
Yeah.
like shout out Hannah, like now I got 40 friends in Britain. Like you're like, yo, what? Like this is crazy. Like that shit kind of
Yeah.
shaped everybody. Like had that at that point, had you gotten like a taste for MMA yet? Had you gotten a taste for martial arts, or was
Nah.
it? It was still just shows and working and
It was mostly shows and tons of fights, and I think that from that and from being like a big boxing fan, I had seen the UFC. I remember renting it like a very long time before that with like my cousins, but around 15 years old, my friend Ronnie, he was really into MMA. He actually had like a Pride DVD from like the Japanese
holy
MMA
shit.
promotion. He had a couple other like UFC DVDs maybe and like would download fights and street fights. We got super into fighting in general, like street fight videos. I think there was like man, I don't remember all the compilation videos now, but there was a lot. And I mean bum fights was one of them that like started being really popular back then.
No,
Uh,
seriously.
and so like we got really into that. Then we said, okay, let's just start watching the UFC. That shit like it's like once a month pay-per-view, maybe every 3 months. I don't know. It was
Yeah,
very
it
like
wasn't.
limited back then.
Yeah, it was like quarter. It wasn't even quarterly. It might be like two big shows a year, or something like
Yeah,
that.
and
Yeah,
that was it. Boom.
bro, I don't even think. Yeah, I think that was kind of like when that kind of was trickling into the mainstream. You know, like you're
Yeah.
watching MMA, like WEC or
And then yeah, the Ultimate Fighter blows up. So
yeah,
then the WEC blows up. And around and I got really into it. So like as much as I was into hardcore, we started watching like my friends and I started watching a lot more UFC. I remember I think I've watched like every event or at least a fight from like every single event since like UFC 100.
dude. I remember always like going to the skate shop and like they would always have like oh we just watched Mirko Crow Cop or like some
Yeah.
random like and that's the first place I saw who was that dude? Fuck, I'm
Fedor?
high and yeah, that was the first place I saw Fedor.
Yeah.
Shout
Yeah,
out
man.
all those guys. They
Straight
all
up.
go
Shout out
like
all
you,
those old
the
legends,
list.
man.
Shout out those dudes at fucking industry and
That's
utility. Like
right.
that's a long ass list, and I love every single one of you to a man. But like, bro, like that was the first place I remember pulling up, and just being like, bro, like Fedor. We have like these Fedor tapes. I was like, all right, tight. Like,
Damn.
sitting here watching that.
Industry.
That was like one of the first places, but that was like kind of the first public turn for. But like it wasn't like it is now, where there's, like gyms everywhere,
Yeah,
places to
exactly.
go roll. Even like I
Hell
couldn't tell
no.
you two places in the desert that were like were jujitsu.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, man, like MMA like that. I mean, I wasn't even I didn't know anyone that trained, Like not a single person that I knew was doing jujitsu or even boxing
Or
or
yeah,
anything
or
like
even
that.
Muay Thai. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, shout out like we had Cub Swanson around that time.
Hell
Shout out Cub
yeah.
Swanson and Timothy Bradley and
That's right.
everybody that came before that. But it wasn't. That was like almost like a private thing. Like they had to go out and
Mhm.
train somewhere else, or kind of
Yeah.
come back and have their own little tiny thing. It wasn't like I don't know what happened. I want to find someone that has the whole story on why like gyms left the desert, but there wasn't even boxing or anything for a while. It was like real
Yeah.
private. So yeah, no one people were training, but there was no Muay Thai or anything.
Mm-mm.
Not even
I,
CrossFit, damn near.
yeah, exactly. All of that started popping up, like I think in big part to thanks to MMA. But no, CrossFit had like its big time, like I don't know,
Yeah,
at some point it had its big
it
blow
had a
up.
thing. This is
Yeah.
hemp for all the people that see this and are like, "This is hemp," but
Hey,
it's a hemp wrap. I promise.
nice.
But okay,
That's
so
nice.
that's we're still hardcore. Are you still living in the desert?
Yeah, so my all my high school time, I was in the desert. I was living in Indio actually, for the most part, hanging out with all the homies. We got so into MMA that we started having backyard fights at my house. Like
Oh shit! Like
we bought boxing gloves and we
just
just
running fades in the
decided,
backyard. That was really it.
yeah, we all decided to throw down. I have like so many videos from like all of us beating each other up back in high school. And it was funny because even like the most, I don't know, we were all nerds. Like we knew each other first through video games and being in Japanese class. Like that's how nerdy we were. We were into anime and then we got into hardcore, some of us, but then we got
But
into
that's where you were finding your
MMA.
identity was through just through
Hmm.
different cultures, and then that trickled down to that kind of that combat. Just a bunch of
Yeah,
dudes
man.
hanging out, like yo, might as well fight. Like it
I
doesn't matter.
remember, yeah. I remember as a kid, like I had a fight. I beat some kid up. I defended myself. I never ever like bullied nobody. I want to say like maybe there might have been. So sorry to those people.
Some
Shout out
some
you.
kids like yo,
They're
no.
like, nah, you did. No, I didn't mean to, but I always tried to like defend myself. But like I said, if my dad told me that lesson and nobody was gonna touch me, if we're getting a fight, I was gonna grab you first and throw that punch. But I just remember thinking to myself, like, I'm kind of good at this. Like, and I was a little kid, I had been playing soccer, but I thought to myself, I'm kind of skilled. I don't know if there's like a skill to this. I don't know if there's like a talent. Cause like I remember just like your blood rushing, your legs are like kind of
Just all the
shaking
throwing.
and yeah, adrenaline's going and then doing it and then just being like, but I did well. And then I got into more and more fights. I remember in the seventh grade, I even like threw a fake. Like I couldn't punch this kid in the face. I kept throwing the right, and I was like, and I faked like I was gonna hit him in the stomach, and I just socked him in the mouth. I remember, and that worked. Then I got into another fight, same thing. Got a scar here
You
from
start
some.
putting it together right there. Yeah, I can
Yeah,
remember right there.
man.
You start
On the
now. You're
tooth.
starting to think about it.
Yeah.
Do that.
But
You're
yeah,
kind of
man,
finding a
like
love for it.
yeah, so like I kind of thought I was good at it as a little kid. We start fighting in the backyard and I'm like, dog, I'm still kind of pretty good at this. Like, I don't know what it is, but if there was a way to make money, and we were watching UFC, but I was like, what the fuck? I'm not gonna be a
Didn't seem
cage
real.
fighter. Yeah. Gonna get in the cage with those wild ass guys. Nah.
Those are
Um
dudes. I'm fighting. I'm
the
just fighting the homies. Like
I'm just here with the guys, you know what I
bringing
mean?
kids from Japanese class. Like not.
Exactly. Not that fucking guy that broke that guy's foot or arm or whatever
Yeah,
the
not
hell.
even the. I'm not even out there fighting the wrestling kids or the football kids.
Mm.
Like I'm literally
Yeah,
fighting my friends. Like we're just
my
kind of back
homies.
here doing it. But you're like, I don't know. I'm nicer than them. I got it.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, you
Was
know,
there anyone in that era that, like, I mean, I'm not like you don't gotta put them out by name, but was there
yeah,
like a
yeah,
time
yeah,
where you got tested or something where you're like, oh shit, like,
definitely.
where you're like, oh no, this kid's here to fight too.
Yeah, but none of us like were very cautious, right? Like we had gloves that we bought, and I think they were both 16 ounces, and that was it. Like no mouth guards. There was nothing else, There
Some
like
real
we
backyard
kind of
kids.
did like rounds, like oh, but mostly it was like that guy's tired. We're done. Okay, it's over. Everybody was getting tired in like 2 minutes, Nobody had cardio. We didn't train for this, so like. We would just throw down super hard. No weight classes either. Whoever just wanted to get in there, get in there. So like I started being really good, and I wasn't afraid of anybody, so we started asking other people. Like friends of mine would ask, friends that they had to like come through and box it up. So I did. I started doing that. But yeah, some of those guys were a lot bigger than me. I got dropped a couple times. I mean, I remember doing well always, but it's not like I didn't take my hits and my damage. You know what I
But you were
mean?
getting some heart. You were
Yeah,
learning heart back there. You're like,
for
damn.
sure.
Now it's just
And
like we gotta bring our guy through and see if they can knock out their guy. And you're like, whoa, 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 what is this extra shit? I just kind of wanted to
exactly.
do some light sparring with some
I thought we
friends.
were gonna hang out, kick it, hit each other a little bit. No, this guy's like trying to actually be the king of the streets. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Oh, that's my cousin. He just got back from juvie. Like we're gonna take him away from college and
yeah.
shit. Like, whoa, what? What the fuck?
Like what, dog? And like in my own backyard, my parents are cooking food inside.
Yeah,
Like
like what's going on? Carlos and his friends are
I'm over here
boxing.
getting knocked out.
Like, yeah, there's a lot of fools back there now. That's
Yeah,
right. Bro,
yeah,
that's
man.
so that's high school. You're kind of like
Yeah,
kind of cutting your teeth, like kind of learning yourself, but it's still you're like, I don't know if there's a way to do this, but if I can keep
yeah.
doing this in my free time, even fuck it, I like
Exactly.
it. That's cool.
Exactly. That was almost exactly my thoughts, and exactly the thought process. So like um out of high school, I decided to go to college in Fit at FITM, bro. I went to LA. I was like,
Oh
oh,
shit.
they have a
Okay.
video program. I'm interested in
Oh
making
shit.
videos.
Okay. That's cool,
Hmm
bro. That's cool.
Didn't
That's
work out though. So I went to the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising. I got to learn a lot again. So moved out, went to LA, and I got to grow up, learn about myself for the first time. I was on my own, you know what I mean? It was super hard to make money, like getting anywhere with traffic. Like even traffic was like
and that's
insane,
like
I'm used
downtown
to the
LA. That's
desert.
like fourth. That's not like oh I live in a small part of LA. That's I lived in Heber, and then
Yeah,
I would just go in Heber and then La
right,
Quinta, and then
right.
I'm in the greater Coachella Valley. It's still just the desert, and then like
Hmm
now I'm down on Fourth and
Fucking
Fig, Fourth
LA.
and Sepulveda, LA,
It's
and
like
I
on Grand and Ninth, I think.
yeah, dude, you're down there, down there. You're
Hmm
that's that's real LA. Like I had a friend that she would always be like, people say they moved to LA and they moved to like Glendale or the Valley. Like no, I moved to
That ain't
LA.
it.
Like
Yeah.
I'm at FITM and it's grown people trying to get grown jobs in grown industries.
Straight up. I remember I lived off of Sunset and Westerly. Like you pass by if you're ever on Sunset, you'll notice it. It's like it's basically in between downtown and then Hollywood. Like so I was like
Iconic
here.
area.
downtown, and then Hollywood would be on this side. But yeah, I was going to school downtown, and like, bro, it would take so long. I had to pay for parking everywhere. That shit was so new to me. And like I said, like super broke working at Ralph's, like deli from when I was 18. I transferred over there. And yeah, man, like more than anything, I remember that, like struggling for like to make money, like just
To just
struggling to like
breathe.
fucking live. Yeah. Trying to like pay for everything. So like I even got over that. I got over like going to school and parking. So I was like, I'll just take the bus. It takes the about the same amount of time. I gotta walk a little bit, but at least it's $2 or $1 for the bus instead of the like $9 I gotta pay every day for
And I gotta go
parking.
find it, and it might be full, and
Yeah, man. It was not fun. So like that was super new. The school, I think it was like a very new program, the video program, and I wasn't learning video. They were like, "Cool, you're here, video, right? So let's start with drawing." And I was like, "Son, I gave up on drawing in the first grade. Like I
I
haven't
don't draw
tried,
anything.
yeah, I haven't tried drawing a stick figure since then. Like that ain't me." And they're like, "Yeah, just draw Tom Cruise right quick." And I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here." Oh
Man,
my God, bro. Yeah, I remember just like not enjoying any of it. None of it like helped me make a video at all. Like I think it was just a really new program that they were trying to introduce and
bro,
didn't work
that's
out. Left after like 3 months,
okay. that's
but
that's
gained $11,000 in debt.
right. Like, but yeah, and you didn't even get the bullshit of going to school. You just grabbed that straight. Like, well, you're
Yeah,
in debt now,
yeah,
and you already
fucking
gave it
suck.
to them. So
Yeah,
you can't even
yeah.
like work the check. You already gave it to them. They have it now,
They had it. They had it. What could I do? That was just a
bro.
waste of time, space. But hey, you know what? You live and you learn. And I was young, and I think I needed that lesson. Plus, like, if it didn't suck, I wouldn't have moved back. So I moved back to the desert. I
If
and worked a lot to try to pay off that debt.
if you didn't even have that opportunity to go there, you probably you may have not left the desert and done that growth that you had to do. Even another step,
Hmm.
just seeing it at that big of a level. I'm like, all right, I know what it could be. I won't ever be wondering, but
Yes.
I know what it could be. And
Hmm.
I respect it for what it is. But I'm going back to the desert.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like I met again, like the desert to me was like, whoa, so different from the Imperial Valley. But then going to LA, I was like, fuck, there's like every which way, there's like a different person that's got a different background that like I don't even know. Like they could be from different countries. There was so many different people, and like that was cool too, the getting to know those people. And like I think that it also helped me grow in that sense of being able to relate to more and more cultures and being open to like their ways of doing things or saying things or just living their life, you know what I mean,
That's
their
like
customs.
that's the real melting pot of America. It's like
Hmm.
downtown LA. Like, oh no, it's
Yeah,
the
man.
Ethiopian store, and they do that over there, and this is this. And you're like, oh, cool. It's my neighbor.
I,
Cool.
I
Thank you.
remember I met a girl. I was 18. I met a girl and she was like 26. She's like, "You want to go get Thai?" And I was like, "What's a Thai?" And she's like, "Thai food." So simple, right? But I'd never heard of Thai food. Like I was like Chinese. Like I really have no idea what it like sushi. Like that was the most foreign thing that I could think of was sushi. She was like, "No, just Thai, like a pad Thai," and I was like, "No fucking." I'd never heard the
Sure.
term pad Thai in my life.
Dude, that's crazy. But it's like it's not that crazy. Like it's not like I can't think of a bunch of Thai places on the east side of the valley. I can't think of.
Yeah,
I'm sure there wasn't a bunch of Thai options at in Heber.
there. I don't
Like
remember one. I don't think anyone has had Thai in Hebrew.
in Heber, they're like, what? You bring them? If you
Yeah,
go open a Thai food restaurant in Heber right now, you're doing numbers. Like, what is
you're right. I'll
Pad
introduce him to the
See This
pad
is
Thai and the
crazy,
pad see Yeah, here's some drunken noodles. Mm.
bro. You're revolutionary. So like you're bringing that back to
Yeah,
probably come back to the desert with all kinds of curiosity. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
man.
that's cool ass stuff to do, but once you get that taste and come back, you're like,
Yeah, and as you mentioned, I saw the like potential. I saw like what what could be, right? And the little growth that I did have just made me want more. So like
You
as soon
saw
as
there
I
was
got
more
done,
past the mountains, you know?
exactly, more past the mountains, literally, right? But like, so I just concentrated on making money. But I knew that I needed to get out again. I knew I needed to leave again to like grow more. And I was talking to some girl. I met her through hardcore. Eventually she moved to like a deeper part of Arizona, like closer to Phoenix area, like a more metropolitan area.
Okay.
And I said, you know what, I'm gonna move out there too and start going to school over there and just kind of do my thing because I wanted to get away like enough where I couldn't just drive and come back in the same day, and
Bro,
it'd be easy to go
that 4 hours
back and
to
forth.
Phoenix is like such a difference than the
Yeah.
2 hours to LA. You're like, yeah, no problem. 2 hours,
Hmm.
4 hours Santa Barbara. You're like, yeah, no big deal. That 4 hours to Phoenix is like, bro, really? I
It
don't
feels
know,
like eight.
man.
It feels like eight.
It's
There's
it's
nothing to
aggressive.
see. Nothing to see. Just, oh, we're in the desert.
It's not even Vegas. You're just out there. No disrespect to Phoenix. Like I love y'all, but like,
Yeah.
bro, it's far.
No.
It feels
Yeah,
far from
that
here.
shit, that part of the 10 is boring as hell. Somebody's got to do something with that.
Yeah, once you get past Blythe, like it's just like, man, we're still out here, huh? Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's like,
But yeah, so I ended up
so
going to
Phoenix.
Arizona. Yeah, I lived in Chandler first, in Chandler, Arizona, about I want to say maybe like 20 to 20 to 30 minutes from Phoenix. I was going to school for video again, and I actually started learning how to make videos. Like I ended up doing that for a while, graduated from there,
Was there like a
and
focus that you learned with the videos? Was it like,
yeah,
were you focusing on sports or music or TV or?
it was all mostly it was called digital video production. That's what I have my degree in, is digital video production. And there was a lot of different classes actually. One of them was just strictly editing. Like I remember doing a test for editing, and it was like the study guide was just like keyboard shortcuts and how to cut, how to paste, like what this term did. If you did this, if you splice something, like what would it mean? And I remember doing all that stuff
Like the actual
uh
technical pieces
of video work, yeah.
yeah,
And so I got to learn editing. I got to learn that I hate editing, and just got to learn everything. Like everything that I use now, I learned in school. Everything that I learned in school, I'm able to apply to my life now. And to be honest, like make money now. I make videos for a restaurant out here in Downey called Lock and Key Social Drinkery. Big shout out them. Big shout out Mark.
bro.
Make
Shout
videos
out
for
them.
them. So that pays me. And then I make videos also for Blu-ray Aquatics, my other job. Big shout out to them too. They
Blu-ray
sponsored me for my
Aquatic
last
Shop.
fight.
Bro,
Yeah.
that's what's up, bro. So like, you kind of coming out. You get out there and they're actually like teaching you something. Like, hey, you can go walk outside and be like, hey, I can make a video for you. Hey, I can
Yeah.
eat off of this. Like, I can do something, even if it's not a ton of money. I can start
Hmm.
fishing with it. Kind of.
There you
And
go.
let me
Yeah.
find some place. They taught you how to fish. At least not just like fit them. Where it's like we're gonna teach you the theory of
Yeah,
construction
exactly.
of Victorian
Right. I was
outfits,
like,
which is
dog.
important. Like, what?
No, yeah. When I went to this school, it was like completely different. Every book that I read was like about like even like framing a shot,
It
and
was
like
technical.
very technical. Like when you film something from the bottom up, you're actually given like what the object or the subject power, right? Like because they look so much bigger from that peripheral.
Bro, that's cool. So like you really feeling like empowered with what you're learning to take it out to like actually do
Yeah.
some work with it and start getting clients. Were you getting clients right there in Chandler, or was that still like?
Yeah. After I was done with school, I joined a gym. Fuck,
Oh
finally,
yeah,
right?
big fight town. I was when you said Chandler, I was like, okay, a lot of people go out there and start. Like that's a big. I
Yeah.
mean,
I
I
mean,
can't think off the top, but there's some legends like some big gyms in the area.
in Phoenix and like that local area or that little area, Ken Shamrock, who's like a UFC pioneer, he was in the WWF too. Like he had the Lions Den. That's like one of the most popular, biggest gyms from like MMA history. Like so many people come from that gym. Their practices are like stuff of nightmares, to be honest. Sounds like a big frat house. Like that shit wouldn't fly nowadays,
It's like
but
one of those
they
places where
have
they say
their
like gym
history.
wars and stuff, where it's like you could
Exactly.
just go in there and brawl it out, and
Yeah, you have
not
to
with
die to
sparring.
join the
Yeah,
team.
you want to spar, you have to fight no
Yeah.
rounds. There you go. Go at it.
Exactly. That's fun. That's yeah. So like go to school, do all this video stuff. Finally, like I feel like I've done everything that my parents wanted me to do. I think I've accomplished, as much as I need to for everyone else. Now I got to focus on something for me, right? Like I'm
So
done with school. School is done. I'm 23 years old. School's over, finally. Now what do I want to do? And honestly, the only thing that came to mind was MMA. I wanted to try training. I wanted to try like training for MMA and not just like jujitsu. I wanted to do it all. So I found a gym called Power MMA and I signed up for it, but I didn't go for like a month. I signed up for it in like January, and I was like, I'll go next or tomorrow when I'm less tired, or when I'll
find a
try to
good Monday
try
to
to
get.
work out and then go. But yeah, that day didn't come until February 1st, where I was like, all right, son, like I took all January off and I paid for
I
it.
just paid for. Now you're an adult. You
Yeah.
paid for it.
Mm-hmm. And that shit wasn't cheap. I remember because I was only doing like a 6 month membership. I remember I was gonna move back to the desert after 6 months. So I did a 6 month membership and every month was $180. And I was like, fuck, bro, I'm making like, I don't even know, like 1,000 a
That's
month,
a
you
real
know?
commitment. Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Right
So
out of
like,
college and to be doing the extras,
mhm.
that's a big commitment. So
I
you
was
burned
working
one
at
month.
Chipotle, but rent in Arizona is something else. Like the first place that I got by myself, one bedroom, one full bedroom, not this. Like when I lived in LA, it was like a hallway,
Yeah.
and there was like an area where you could put a bed. It wasn't a bedroom; it was like an area where
Where a
you
bed
could,
also fit in
yeah,
there.
it
Yeah.
fit in there, so you could sleep in there. That shit was like $750. When I moved to Arizona, my first apartment, like by myself, again, a one bedroom, an actual one bedroom, was 430 after everything, 430 a
Bro.
month.
Reasonable. Hella reasonable.
Yeah, I could work at Chipotle and do that. And I did, you know what I mean? And then to True MMA in India with Cub Swanson.
Oh shit,
And
okay.
that kind of became my mentor and my coach for like the next 6 years, like from that moment. He always had a really good eye, a really good like vision for like what somebody was good at, what somebody was bad at, and like what their style should be and stuff like that. He studied the game a lot. He claimed, he not claimed, but like he proclaimed himself as a student of the game, always a guy that's trying to learn more and more and more, trying to get better and better and better. Even though at that time he was already like 10 years in the game. Now he's got like 20 years in the game or something
And
like that.
you still hadn't had a fight, like an amateur fight at all or anything.
Nothing.
You were just training and get like honing in on the craft, and you were like, hey, I
Yeah.
want to study under him. Like I want to learn the game from him at least.
Yeah. Well, I mean, moving back to the desert, there was like another gym called like Python or something. But I had two friends and my cousin that had already started training at True MMA, even back before when it was called Leverage. So they were with Leverage and they were at True MMA. When I started training in Arizona, I moved back. They'd already had some training, so I was like, cool, I'll just join you guys at your gym.
Yeah, that's cool.
So we started training.
I'm glad I had
Um,
that support and motivation. Like you're all kind of gonna push each other to go because now we know I go and you know, and
yeah.
someone can hold me accountable and say you're not at the gym.
Exactly, man. And you start getting worse, and you want to compete with your friends, your cousin, like you don't want them to get better, so you got to show up.
Right? Okay. So you show up and you're like, who better to show up under than
Yeah.
Cub? You know, like
Yeah.
he's definitely a star by that point for sure
Hmm.
especially in the MMA community.
Yeah.
You know, so
And
you
then
just
actually when I went over there, it was like right before he went on this really, really well, it was right before like the WEC was absorbed by the UFC. And so like all these fighters started debuting. He was gonna debut on like UFC on Fox, the first one, I believe.
Oh yeah, yeah, that is
So I think
early.
that was like 10 years ago even. But yeah, so he started his like big winning streak around that time. So there was a lot of hype, a lot of momentum. He was training at Greg Jackson's, whenever he wasn't at True MMA. So we were also able to like learn a lot from like what was the best camp at the time, and then all coming from Cub. He was a really
He's
good
bringing
mentor
that
for
back.
me.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's bringing that right back to you guys. He's going out and going to working in a camp and then coming back and showing you what he just drilled. And now you're
Yeah.
like,
Oh shit! Like we're 1 degree of separation. We just basically got a class from
Yeah.
Greg Jackson.
Pretty
Like,
much. Like I think that it was really easy, or not easy, but he was able to hone in on like what every fighter needed in order to get to this next level, even with like our extremely limited experience. Like when I started training, there wasn't like another black belt in like the room, it was just Coach Cub was a black belt, and I believe my jiu-jitsu coach Mike Morales was a brown belt at the time. He eventually became a black belt, but
at
yeah,
the
like
time.
that was it. That was like it was a very inexperienced room. We were all learning together. So whatever we learned, we would try to do. And maybe after 2 years, I had my first amateur fight.
What year is this?
I Let's see, I started training at 23. I had my first fight at 20, I want to say 24 or 25. Hmm.
Okay,
Don't
so
remember. 24 or
yeah,
25.
it's about like 2010, 11.
2010, 11. Yeah. Yeah. Like,
Okay,
or like maybe 2012-ish. Yeah.
okay.
So, yeah, that would make 23. 2012, I'd be 23, 2013, 24. So yeah, just about then. At the same time, I moved back to the desert, right? I go to True. I wanted to get a new job. I started working at Best Buy for a while. And they sent me on this like big training so that I could get promoted to the next position or the next level or whatever. And right before that, I remember calling Apple because when I lived in Arizona, I worked at the Apple store, and I remember calling Apple and asking like, could I get a reference? If I wanted to move somewhere, could I get a reference? And my boss was like, yeah, anywhere you want, I'll get you into that store. And I was like, sick. So I was already thinking about maybe moving to San Diego and training out there at Academy and and working at Apple. But then I got this big training with Best Buy, and I had interviewed with the school district like a month before that, but I didn't get the position. But during this training, this week-long training on Wednesday, I get a call from the school district saying like, "Hey, we want to do another interview with you. We're going to hire a second person, and we're very interested in hiring you." So I ended up getting hired at the school district.
Was it to do video stuff or?
No, I got hired for a class support technician position. So I
Okay,
worked IT. I worked in the IT department. I was in charge with two other guys, and then later three. We were 3 or 4 cloud support technicians in charge of like 30 schools. And for me, I handled all the elementary schools.
bro, that's a sick jump from even from Apple
Yeah, and
to
I was
Best
at
Buy.
Best Buy, literally.
Let me go to the school district. That's you got to
Now
take
I'm at the
the
school district. Yeah.
so
So I
like
went to the school district, loved it. It was a really good position. But it kind of limited my training and my time.
it's consistent. Everything's taken care of, but you're still kind of
Hmm.
like, dang, I was rolling every day, all day. I was only
Yeah,
giving them my 4 or 6 hours, and then I'm back at the gym before and after. And
yeah,
school's 8 hours all day, 8:30 to 4:30.
exactly,
And
man. So,
so
yeah, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say. So at that point, had you thought, like, I got something here in fighting, or was that just like, nah, MMA is just it's fulfilling to me, or were you like,
Mhm.
there's something there?
So yeah, I get hired at the school district, and then I got hired in February, and I had my first fight, my first amateur fight, that April. So like 2 months in, I had that fight. I broke my ulna, I don't know if you can see it right here.
Oh shit. Okay.
I broke my ulna in the first round. I like hit this guy. I feel it like weird. I try to finish a choke, but I notice I can't even make a fist with my right hand. And I'm like, weird. The round ends. I go to my corner and I'm like, something's off with my hand, you know? They're just like, hit him with it. And I'm like, right, right, right. I come out and I'm doing well. I take him down. And I remember getting to mount and hitting him, but like not using this hand and just thinking to myself, like, fuck it, man. Bop, 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 bop. And yeah, I got to finish the fight and we had to go to the hospital immediately. And the very next day, yeah, they said it was broken. I got surgery. They like put me out. I remember that was such a weird moment. You know, they like count down from this to this, right? Or count up. I remember getting to 7 out of 10 and then blinking and waking up at hours later outside of this surgery, just like in a bed, like what the hell? And it felt
Bro.
like I just blinked.
And at that point, that's your first amateur fight.
First
That,
amateur fight, first experience
and you
fighting.
you teach at school. That's your first. You know, like you gotta go to school tomorrow. It's not like
Yeah, I came in with the cast and everybody was like, "How are you gonna?" And I'm like, "I can still type."
oh, you're not even like in the classroom though. You're at the
No, no, no.
district, so
I was at the district, yeah,
yeah.
as,
So it's not
a,
like the
as an
kids
IT
are like
guy.
yeah, yeah. You're off in your office. It's not like the kids are
Luckily,
like yeah, like
yeah.
yo,
But I
Mr.
did I
Carlos,
did
what
go to a lot.
happened?
Yeah, exactly. And that's so funny because they all called me Mr. Carlos. Like they all did that shit. So I worked at elementary schools. I've always been very, very close to kids because my mom had a daycare since I was like 12. Like that was what she dedicated herself to. So we had all kinds of kids rolling through. And so I got to meet a lot of kids. I got to hang out with a lot of kids. And I always like admired their innocence more than anything. So like once I got to work at the schools, at the elementaries, yeah, I had all kinds of little homies, you know. Oh, Mr. Carlos this, and I'd help him out with the Chromebooks, and yeah, it was a really good time. I got to teach a lot of them too. Like teachers would have me speak to them, you know, like, oh, what did you do before and what are you doing now, type of thing.
You know,
And
it's
yeah.
possible. Like that's a
Hmm.
big thing out here. Like it's not like everything with kids is not possible. Well, at our time, like we didn't have the internet like that, so it's like, bro, I don't know. It's like one of six things you could do here, or hit the
Yeah.
lottery. Cause
Yeah.
that's about it. You know, so they're like, oh, look, hey, you're from here. You know, and that's
Exactly.
dope. So
Yeah, it was really nice.
you had 30 elementary schools. You said.
It was 30 schools in the entire school district, 10 elementary
Oh,
schools.
10 elementary schools. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
So that's tight. So you're doing that, but you're also like, I guess that kind of, that's, they're not as understanding when you're like, hey, I know I'm off on Saturday, but I fought and I have surgery and I got to use some of my
Yeah,
PTO. And,
I got talked to. Yeah,
and you're like, fuck, but that's a new rush. You just that's the biggest stage at that point that you had been on, you know,
yeah,
for anything. Like that was the
for
biggest, you're like, oh
anything,
shit.
for
Like I've,
anything. And the biggest competition of my life, the biggest stage, as you put it.
it's a huge moment, and so now you're like, you get that taste, you get that
Hmm.
first taste of it, and you're like, you go back to work and you're sitting there with your
Yeah,
test, but you're like, yo, that was W.
but I did that shit.
I
Yeah.
did that shit.
That's right. And yeah, like and amateur days are so crazy. Like and for us especially, like we come from I want to say like the previous generation of MMA now. Like we still grew up fighting in native grounds, like random ass people. I remember, I had no idea who I was gonna fight until that day. Like I would see them that day.
Bro,
That's it.
that's crazy. What was your first fight at? Was it at Morongo or
It was not, is that Morongo? The one that's further out?
Spotlight 29,
Oh,
Fantasy
no, no,
Sport?
no. So it's actually in San Jacinto. Like
Oh,
what's the fucking
San Manuel Casino or
not
San
San Manuel,
Manuel.
San some shit, right? It's over there
Yeah,
in
yeah,
San
yeah.
Jacinto. You have to take like a whole different freeway from like,
You get
Beaumont
off
and all
like
that
going to
shit.
him and you turn around and you go
Yes.
way back around there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You see like the Scientology camp
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all
yeah.
that
I know what
stuff.
you're just talking about.
So there's
So,
a casino
damn.
out there. We didn't even fight at the casino. It was so, so, so weird. We went to this like high school gym area and for the gym lockers, like that was our warm up area. Like my opponent, I think, was in my locker. I was like, "Can you get out? Like I'm trying to warm up to fight you." But yeah, so like there's a whole bench in between your legs as you're trying to warm up. There's a bathroom. There's like 10 teams, not just 10 guys, like 10 teams, like in this little locker. Um,
Thunderdome.
yeah, and they're just calling guys out, boom, 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 getting your hands wrapped. I think
And you said
my
it wasn't your weight class. You just fought a dude. Like,
yeah, so this one was at least like at 155, and they found a guy that was 155, and that was cool. That worked out. Luckily I got that win. My next fight started being at 145.
was he like same age as you, or
I want to say he was younger,
He's
like 23 when I started, and like fighting at 24 was a little bit older for MMA.
okay, cool. So he was a little bit younger, and you just
Yeah.
jumped in. That's so crazy to go be warming up in your locker room, and he's like right there because
Yeah, I'm like,
so big. Like, Doc, you at least go on the other side of the room or something.
yeah, man, get out of here. What the hell?
So you go out there, you come back, you get the W, you fucking
Yeah.
you
Bro,
come back.
that was such a huge rush. So like you get your name called, and then you walk out. It was weird to like have eyes on me, like that was a thought that I remember having, like everyone's looking at me right now, like there's nothing else that's going on in this moment. Like they called out my name. They're watching me walk out to this cage, and then I'm gonna fight this fucking guy that I have no idea who he is. Like I just met him today.
You just
And
been
yeah,
coming from that from training, and now you're there in front of everybody, like
bro,
to you, like, bro, this is not the gym. This isn't true MMA.
this is
taking off my
not
socks and
true.
laughing with the guys. This is light. There's light.
Oh
to it.
shit, yeah. We're gonna fight each other, and that guy's gonna try to hurt me. Like literally hurt me, like as bad as he possibly can. Fuck.
Bro. You get out there, you walk out to the ring, you get in that first fight, and the cage closes, and your team
Yeah.
is behind the cage, and like, all right, cool, Carlos.
That part, bro. The cage closes. You're never ready for the cage closes. Like, because everything before that is preparation. Even walking out and all that. But once that cage closes and they ring the bell, and you just see a guy walking at you that wants to hit you, you're like, what the fuck? What did I do this shit for? Like, I really like signed up. Like, yeah, I want to fight this guy. What the fuck? Like, that's so weird. And yeah, like, and then yeah, and then like the next thought is like, well, fuck it, what am I gonna let him hit me? No, I gotta
You
fight
go
this
back
guy,
and
literally. Yeah,
No, I'm not getting hit first.
exactly. Better hit him first, motherfucker. Yeah. And yeah, it kind of just takes over. I remember loving it. I mean, winning is awesome, but I remember winning and just like finishing the fight and just feeling like, fuck yeah, man! I want to feel this feeling forever. There's no better feeling. Like I want to feel victories all the time.
Did that change your focus going back into the gym on when your hand healed, or I'm sure
Yeah,
you're ready
man.
to go instantly? You were like, yo, like,
Yeah,
I'm
I
ready to go.
still went in. I started working my jab a lot more. I started working my left hand a lot
Didn't
more,
work
my low
everywhere
kicks. Like exactly, I started doing something.
You're like, oh shit, I got a W. I'm not just here going around with you guys. You see me on Saturday. I went out there. I was fighting for real. Like, oh my
Damn
shit.
right, bro. Damn right, bro.
Bro, that's
Yeah.
tight.
It was
That's so
crazy.
tight.
It was really crazy. Like, and then, I was training with like my cousin and like a couple other friends. So like being the first one that actually got to a fight and like got a win. Like, it was weird. It was like, because I was the first one, but it was really cool. It was really cool to come back and like celebrate with everybody and talk about like fighting and like inspiring them, if anything, like to do it themselves. Like all of those guys have also had fights now. Like, it was badass.
You don't really think about how many guys go to the gym and roll every day and stay in shape and really practice the art every day and never really go have a fight. Like never say like, hey, fuck it. Like never have a coach that throws them into it and says like, no, you got to go out there and get a fight, bro. Like you're ready
Straight
for
up.
it. Stop coming here and fucking them up. Like go out there and get a fight. If that's what you want to do. And to do that, it's kind of like, damn, he did. Like it's inspiring and like that's and it sharpens them. They're like, yeah, I roll with that guy. I fucking, I was sparring with that guy. You see him, like, like it gasses up the whole gym. So
Totally.
that's fucking tight, bro.
Yeah, man. That was
now
like
you got the
super
bug.
camaraderie. Yeah, I got the bug.
Dude,
That
that's
shit bit me
tight.
hard. That shit like so yeah, once I felt that victory, once I raised my hand, and I remember that shit hurt because I broke my arm. So I was, but whatever. I
Fine, that
won.
adrenaline, yeah.
Yeah, man. Get that surgery. Yeah, I'm super hyped on it. And well, I just knew I was gonna fight. I was like, oh, I'm gonna keep fighting until like I can't fight anymore. And I really thought that I would stick to the district too. Like everything was working out for me. My parents helped me get a house in the Quinta. I had a dog, I had a girl, like everything was dope. Like I had everything,
It
like
was
I'm
on
saying,
plan.
solved, settled, done, you know. But then, let's see, when I was 28, so I was already like 4 years into the district and also 4 years into fighting. And I was getting really good. I was getting a lot better. I was 6-1, I believe, like at one point. And then I knew I wanted to commit to it. Like I was struggling with this thing in my head so much because I knew that there was better training out there. I knew that I needed to dedicate more time and more hours. I wanted to work on my body. Like I only had time at 7 o'clock to go do the training, and that was it. Like I wasn't getting any extra work at all. But at 28, I ended up going skydiving. So I met a girl on September 30th, which we're almost to. Met a girl September 30th. I had a fight in Palm Springs for CFL at the Hard Rock Hotel, I think it was.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I fucked that guy up. I destroyed that guy to the point where, like, after that fight, I went up to say thank you to the guy, and he goes, "I can't see out of my eye." And I was like, "Huh?" And he's like, "I can't see." And I was like, "All right, sorry, thank you." Sorry for that. Oh,
We don't gotta talk about that, I guess.
shit. Oh man. Yeah, I felt bad about that one, but like he's all better now. He's all better now, I gotta say. But yeah, like I just wanted to thank him for the fight, and then he's hitting me with that shit. And I was like, whatever. But yeah, I met a girl that day. Started talking to
At the
her.
fight?
Yeah, at my fight. She
Okay.
through mutual friends. Like she was my homie's girl's like really good
Okay.
friend.
Okay. Cool.
So like she came along, she was interested in me from like a time before. So like she got to see me fight, got to see me
She
win.
knew of you. Yeah.
We got to hang out, and then I really liked her. She was really funny. So like got her. I asked her for her Snapchat. I remember I was like, "Yo, can I get your Snapchat?"
That
She
was
was
a
like,
thing. That was an
Here's
era.
my phone number." She said, and I was like, "All right, thank you. That's really what I wanted. I just didn't want to. I just want to. Yeah, 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 yeah. You know what I
It
mean?"
worked out.
Yeah, it worked out. So like we started hanging out a lot. We started kicking it like almost every day. She was also really into fitness. She would run a lot. I remember she was like a runner. I thought I was dope as hell. I was like, bro, sometimes I run 5 miles a day, like 2.5 here and 2.5 there. So like end of the week, I've accumulated like 20 miles. She's like, cool, I did 20 miles today. I was like, fuck that. I don't know how you do that.
She's an ultra runner, just like out there. She's
Like,
like, no, I run.
yo,
I just do cross country.
yeah, she ended up doing the what's it called, the Iron Man there in the
Oh
desert like
shit.
last
Oh
year.
shit. Yeah. That's
That
crazy.
shit's like 9 hours of working out straight.
Yeah,
No,
running,
man.
going out to swim, going out fucking
Swimming.
swimming,
Nope.
and
Nope. Just with that swim, I'm out. You can count me out with that.
you
I
don't
never
got.
learned how to swim. I'll put it
You
out there
don't
right
swim at
now.
all. Right now,
I
you just no
don't
swimming,
do it. I work for Blu-ray Aquatics. It's a whole like swimming thing with lifeguards, and we train them. I can't swim.
bro. You gotta like.
There
Just trust me, swimming's tight, bro. Swimming's tight.
you
I think everybody should do a little swimming.
go.
Go to the little thing where they throw the kids in, and like you learn how to flip over. Like
I need that.
even just a little, like a little light doggy paddle, like get you into it. I
I'm
think
so
before,
nervous.
like it's a basic thing that you can take with you everywhere. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna swim in that, and you can swim. Like, oh shit, it's water, and I'm swimming in it. It's
Yeah.
hard, and you can get the fuck out. Like, bro. And if you're ever in some shit where God forbid you get thrown out of something and hit some
Very
water.
true.
You gotta swim for a little bit. Like at least you
Yeah.
know the basics of keeping your head up.
Water's supposed to be the safe landing, right? So
Yeah.
so whenever there's water, that's where you want to
That's
die.
where you wanna
That's
go.
what I think. I think that I could survive. Like I could freak out until I made it wherever I needed to, but I'm not a skilled swimmer whatsoever.
Yeah, bro, we're gonna
Yeah,
we're gonna get on something. So she was into the Iron Man and running and shit.
so she
And
was
you're
in
just finding
fitness.
out what real cardio is.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, showed me, right? Goddamn, I thought I was sick as hell. But yeah, so I was like, look at me in my 20s. Nah, she really was like doing 20 like every 2 days. Shit. Anyway,
She's getting that runner's high, just going out there and being like, no, I just run. Like,
yeah,
how do you even
she
have
was a
time
lot
to go
more
20
daring.
miles? Yeah, like
Dog, yeah. How long does that take? That would take 3 days. Like,
yeah, like what kind of
what is
time do you have, bro?
that? So yeah, she was attending school, and a lot of it was for like the COD track team, I want to say.
Okay.
So like I met her, we started hanging out, things are going well, and come February, you know, I met her September 30th, so almost October. Come February of that next year, Valentine's Day, you know what I mean? And she had mentioned that she wanted to go skydiving again because she'd already done it. And I remember telling myself one day, I think I might have even written it down, like I will never skydive. There's no point to it. I don't
Skydiving and
see.
swimming, you're not into it.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know why you would ever want to do those things when there's such a big risk. Like, nah, what for? You know, the exhilaration from it cannot be worth it, right? But I don't know. I was trying to be a good boyfriend, and so I ended up getting us like this Valentine's Day couples package for skydiving in San Diego, and very reluctantly did it, but I never complained about it. I once I got to it, I was like, I know I'm gonna do it. Period. You know, I'm gonna try to make it as best as I can for myself and not focus on anything bad. I'm just gonna go do the things. I'm just looking forward to fucking doing it.
I'm here.
Yeah.
To all of this. I'm saying yes.
Yeah, man. I'm saying yes. I did it. I'm here. We drove San Diego. We're at the fucking place. The planes are going up. I got the best thing on. We get our instructors.
Door closing is like, so now
Yeah.
you're kind of like, all right, well, I know what that commitment is.
See what happens. You know what I mean?
The ground's gonna come out.
Pretty much. Exactly.
Fucking. Hopefully, I got this parachute to catch me.
Yeah, man. They sit us down, and I have to sit on like this little guy's lap. So I'm just like in this weird sitting down position on a man that I just don't want to be on. Like he was just not a good time either. So like they close the door to the freaking little airplane. We start going up, and I'm just like, oh my God, bro, what the hell am I doing in my head? And I started thinking like, well, what are you going to do now? You know what I mean? Like jump out. That's literally what we're fucking gonna do from a safer distance. So there's nothing to do but wait. So yeah, I just keep looking at the elevation going up and up and up and up and up. And I'm like, son of a bitch, bro. It's like the longest 2, 3, 5 minutes, whatever the hell it was. And then then all of a sudden they're like, cool, we're here. And they open the door, and I'm just like nervous as hell. Are you serious? You're opening the door, we're out here in the air. You're opening the door like that.
It's a roller coaster. You're just like, what?
I was like, oh shit. And yeah, just people fucking started flying out. And it was so surreal to like see that with my own eyes. I was like, fuck, bro. We're like literally next to clouds. There's a door on this airplane open, and there's people fucking jumping out. Like
they're willingly going. They signed up for this too.
And then like people start going. My girl and her instructor jump out. There's like another person, and then it's me and my fucking guy. And I was not ready, but he just decided to front flip out. Boom. So here we fucking go, front flip out. And I remember we start going down, and just me doing this face the whole time, trying to like catch my breath. I'm like,
yeah.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it for like a while, but then finally, like instead of trying to like breathe in, I just let everything out, and then I breathed in, and it was like I got my soul back or something. I was like, whoa, shit, and I could breathe normal now. Like they're like I wasn't falling and like
Yeah.
like I just and it was clear. And bro, that I have to say, like that to me felt like the most blissful moment in existence. I was like, I reached nirvana or some shit. Like, I looked down and I just see the whole fucking earth, around me, San Diego mostly, and like the surrounding areas. Like, but it was just so incredible. It was so vast. I'd never, with my own eyes, seen something so vast. And yeah, so like I was staring at it and I just thought to myself, like, bro, I gotta get the fuck out of the office from 6 to 3 and just start
This is
exploring
life.
the whole world. Yeah, this is life.
Bro, that experience completely made you be like, nah, I'm into what I'm into. Like I'm following,
Yeah,
seeing
yeah.
shit every day, fighting, following my passions, but not sitting there doing IT work.
Bro, a week later, I quit that career and
Were you doing any
I
videos
gave it
then
all
for
up.
anyone?
No, I wasn't doing shit. I just had like my 401k, a huge amount of debt that I found out about later. And that was it. I just ended it and I said I want to focus on training. We like me and a couple of friends made a plan to move to Orange County, and like that's how it happened. We decided like we're all gonna go over
Were
there and,
they
and see what's
in
up.
MMA or were they?
Yeah. Two, let's see. So myself and oh, and the girl was my girlfriend now, by the way, Lisa.
Oh yeah, I was just about to say. Okay, so did she go skydiving and is everything cool after
Yeah, yeah,
skydiving? I
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
bro, did she not show
I
up?
never
Did she
got
not
there.
jump? Yeah, I was like, I was like, this. I hope this doesn't take a dark turn. But I was like, at
Yeah,
least
yeah,
it
yeah.
didn't take a dark turn, so that's cool.
It
No,
didn't,
but that's
yeah.
tight. So shout out Lisa.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
so does she? So okay, that answers my next question. So she was
Yeah.
already even like aware. Did she move to Orange County as well?
No, she was going to what is it? CSUSB, Cal State San Bernardino.
Okay,
So she was gonna go and finish that out. She had like 2 more years, I
she had some
believe.
more miles to run.
Exactly. So a lot more miles, man, like three billion more. And so actually another funny anecdote from that, like is that she mentioned to me like that day that we met, she was like, I don't like violence, I don't like fighting. And I was like, oh, well, I mean, I don't love violence, but I love this shit that I do,
I
you
love
know what I
combat.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was like, maybe you'll be able to like help me out with that. And yeah, like slowly I started talking to her about like what exactly I love about combat, like the challenge of like my mind and my body, the things that I do every single day versus all of your things that you do every single day, trying to make them work against me and I'm trying to do the same thing. Like there's so many like little intricacies that make me like MMA more and more. It's like the finer details. And I think she was able to learn from that as well and like kind of see it in a different perspective as we both like grew together.
That's tight, and at least respect it with you because she saw you. She just
Hmm.
saw you go out and get a W. She saw you. She's like, all right, let's go skydiving. I see that
Sure.
you're in. I'm gonna take a big jump. Skydiving was her fighting. She's like, I'm not into this, but all right, I'm gonna see what you're up to. And you were
Yeah,
just like, hey,
man.
I'm gonna go check out the skydiving and go take a leap of faith literally with you. That's tight as fuck, bro. That's tight. So
Hell yeah.
you guys come back from that and you're like, I'm going to Orange County. I'm gonna focus on, on my craft, which still isn't even
Yeah.
fighting. It's really production. Like you're still like, yo, I like production and that's
Yeah.
tight. So does
Yeah.
that
So
come?
yeah,
You
we
have to
moved to
focus
Orange
that
County.
or
Once we went to Orange County, like Cub was helping me out. He also moved to Orange County. That was another big reason why we wanted to come out here, keep
shout out
training
Cub
with him.
Swanson.
Yes, sir. Big shout out. And so we want to keep training with him. We also decided to move. he was helping me out. I was kind of producing like a whole YouTube series for him. Like some of it we did on the iPhone in the beginning. We were like experimenting with that, experimenting with cameras. His like his twins were about to be born, so I got to film like that whole process of his girl being pregnant, everything that they were going through, and then the kids being born, like a little bit after as well.
Dude, that's how you were doing like embedded before
Yeah.
embedded, kind of like, like you were kind of getting that game on, bro. That's
That blog series. Yeah, it was really cool, and he supported me through all that. So that was really nice of him too.
and it's kind of full circle. Like you guys, fucking the desert connection, and then you
Hmm.
push through, and you're like, also I can give it back and show you this meaning. I can capture this meaningful moment for you,
Yeah,
and give it to you like in this cool package. Like that's super sick. So at that point, was fighting kind of take? You're like, now I'm free. You're in that world
yeah,
kind of. It's like, hey, we film and we do this stuff, and that's work, but also you film me working, which is also rolling, which is like cool. Put the camera
yeah.
on a tripod and hop in and roll.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Once we moved out, we our training got like so much more serious. So at Truman May, like I said, we would do practice from like 7 to 9, and sometimes it would run later than that. But out here it was a lot more like rigid, more scheduled. We started at like 9 o'clock. Most of the time we'd finish at like noon, and then Heber, myself, maybe my cousin Mark or somebody, we'd go do another workout, and then we'd come back to class at like 8 o'clock as well.
And now you're like pushing yourself doing that shit because it's not.
Yeah,
It's you're like, no, this is what we're about. It's not work. It's not a hobby. This is kind of our
it's
craft.
like
This is what we're
it's literally
dedicated
like
to.
it literally became life. Like once you start like taking it more and more serious, what you eat, what you do throughout your day is like all supposed to be towards either improving your body or keeping a certain weight, because we got these weight classes. Like yeah, my whole life, like since I started MMA, has changed. Like I learned how to cook better. I learned about nutrition. I learned about macronutrients. I learned about so fucking many things
It's a full
just because
lifestyle.
of that. Yeah.
Dude, that's a whole learning experience in and of itself. Had you at that point, like you're had you had are you having more fights in this period
Yeah,
too, or
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I've never said no to a fight. I was kind of getting like 2 fights a year for a while. And then eventually, after going like 6-1, I remember for my 135 debut. That was crazy as hell. For my 135 debut, I walk out, like I said, this was also kind of like by a different commission, right? This was at Agua Caliente Casino. So I walk out, I'm in the cage, 135, they announced me. And then they announced my opponent, and they're like, weighing in at 155, whatever the hell his name is. And I was like, 55? And yeah, guy comes out looking 155, and I was like, fuck, I'm already in the cage. What am I gonna do? Run away? Hell no. You know what I mean?
right? You're like,
It's time to throw down with this fool or whatever fool comes out. And so yeah, he comes out, and I had my whole thing going. So I try to get him. He takes me down immediately. I ended up subbing him, but like, yeah, getting that W even on a guy that was 155, I was riding high. Riding
bro,
high.
that's crazy. That seems super unsafe, but also like you come back like, all right, you guys tried to throw me a curveball, and I
Yeah, but I
subbed your
did that
boy.
shit. Yeah,
I went
damn
out there
right.
and subbed your boy. Like
Motherfuckers.
he was supposed to come through and roll me over real quick, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, like what? Oh yeah,
He
catch
got
me.
got. He got got.
Dang, how long did that fight go? I know you
It was in
probably
the first
remember that
round.
one.
First round.
Dang, you went out there and were
Yeah.
just like, nah, fuck that. I'm
Hmm.
gonna get you out of
Yeah,
here because
man. The fool like dropped me on my head like twice. But yeah, I reversed him. I got on top. I remember like hitting him with elbows. He was trying to take me down. He like flopped to the floor. And that's when I was able to like lock in the submission and everything. But even that fight for September 30th, like it was really, really crazy. September 30th happens as a Saturday. I go back to training on Monday, and I'm taking it pretty easy. Like I remember my friend Jose Shorty Torres, shout out Shorty, Team Shorty Foundation as well. So like we
shout
start
out
training
Team
at the
Shorty
boxing gym.
Foundation for sure.
Yeah, we start
We'll throw
training
it
at
on
the
the
boxing
screen right
gym.
here.
Nice, nice, nice. I love it. I'm telling you, that pro setup. I see you. I
I
see you.
got you. I got you, buddy.
So we went to boxing. That's Monday. We trained at True, all these things, right? Thursday, I just fought Saturday. Thursday comes around and Cub goes, "Hey, do you want to fight in a week?" And I was like, I'll check my weight tonight, but yeah, why not?" And I was like, "Next Saturday?" And he goes, "No, like next Thursday." And I was like, "Oh shit, like in 1 week. All right. Let me check my weight." I checked my weight and yeah, I was like 148 and I was supposed to fight at like 145. So I was like, yes, let's fucking do it.
I can make
Signed
that.
up for that. And yeah, a week later, that next Thursday, I fought out here in Orange County at the OC Fight Club, and I got another win. I was able to go 6-1. Then I went to LFA, and then shit got crazy. And we can talk about that too.
Bro, hell yeah, let's go. Well, let's go to that fight. Let's go from that fight. Cub just said, yo, you want to go scrap on Thursday? I got a fight you could jump in on.
Yeah,
And you're like, I'll take it. Again, kind of back to everything else that you've been through. You're like, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know who I'm supposed to fight. I don't know
yeah,
whether, but it's not about like, trying to gear up for someone's wrestling or find out what their game is. It's like, I just got to go in there and
do
work.
my
And you
thing.
were like, I'm going to take the fight. And
Yeah.
was that opponent, was there anything to it? It was just a random dude. You just went out there and took that fight.
Yeah, I think he was already supposed to be on the card. So they asked Cub like, "Hey, do you have anybody that would be down for this?" And I just so happened to say yes.
And so that exposure led to LFA.
So that exposure, I still got another fight, and then my manager was able to get me LFA after that. Once I was 6-1, and LFA that was a really cool event. I remember coming out. I remember it being the first time that I was in the cage, and looking at a cameraman and being like, "Oh, fucking weird! Like they're recording us fighting, to stream it on
Yeah.
TV and shit, like Access TV at the time." That's so weird, you know what I mean? Like we're on TV right now, like
It wasn't
just
just some
fighting
guy with
each
a
other.
camera in the crowd. It was
Yeah, man.
camera on the cage and a
With this
production level.
fucking cable, all that with the headphones, the whole thing,
And
it
you're
was
into
like a
that, so
real
you're
thing.
like also like, hey, before I go through the
Yeah.
grip about stuff, you're like, yo, so
Yeah,
how'd you
what
guys
kind of
take
camera
that
you got,
down? Yeah,
bro?
what's going on? They're like, oh, these light rigs are sick. Like, and you're
Straight up, straight
the
up.
production
But yeah,
value is
I
crazy.
remember that. I remember the canvas being different. I remember like the sponsors, like just like noticing these other like nuances. And
There
in
was like a
that
change
fight,
in the game. You saw the
mhm,
level change.
exactly, bro. That's exactly what it probably was. Like, yeah, it was something that was a bigger stage. Everything was bigger. And even though like it wasn't the casino or those commissions, and it wasn't even Palm Springs, the Hard Rock Casino, like this was different. This was definitely the next level. And unfortunately, I come out, I throw a low kick in like the first 8 seconds, and I break my foot. Like broke my foot on that first kick. And I could tell like it was a little off. The adrenaline is rushing so much that there's like no pain. You just kind of feel it off or weird. You're like, that doesn't feel
I don't
right.
have that tool anymore in my.
Yeah. I was like, so that foot's gone. So anytime that like I wanted to like put weight on that foot, say that I was getting pushed back or trying to get taken down, like that foot was not working. And I would even like be so weirded out by my own self because I would almost like go land on it, but I would like kick my own foot out. And I was like, why the fuck am I doing that shit, bro? Like I don't know why I can't land on my foot. But yeah, that shit was broken. I still have like the bone kind of coming out, like
Bro,
it's
that's
it's
crazy.
it's forever.
That's just one of those little tools you got to keep with you. You're like, all right, well,
Mhm.
so that fight, you break your foot, and how's that go? Like, you just tough it out, or
Yeah, I tucked it out. I made it to the second round, but Vince Cachero, that was my opponent. He ended up subbing me. He was super good at jiu-jitsu. He got me with this weird like transition that I'd never like experienced. But I remember so he's choking me and I'm in that choke. And I was in that choke. I countered it like later for 13 seconds and like not going out. And I remember thinking the only thing was like, so I'm not gonna pass out, but I feel like the front and back of my throat are about to touch. And if something awful were to happen, I don't want it to be right now in front of my mom and dad. I got to get out of here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah, I tapped to that one, and it was the first time that like I ever tapped or even got finished. So it was like really alarming. I was like, couldn't believe it. You know, I
But did it
believed in
register that your
myself.
foot was broken when that happened? Were you like, well, my foot broke? Like,
Nah, like I walked out, and when I tried to put my shoe on, it didn't fit. So
it had already
like it
started
was,
swelling.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
so swollen that I couldn't even wear a shoe anymore.
Oof, bro, that's
So
nuts. So,
that's when
but
I
that's
knew.
so you're like, how the fuck did I lose this fight? And then you're like, oh fuck,
Yeah,
my foot's broken.
yeah. But so I go to lose that fight, and I thought, I just got to get back, whatever fight. I ended up fighting another ex UFC fighter. That one didn't work out for me, so I ended up going on like a 6 fight losing streak. So I lost that first one in
So you're six
LFA.
and six. It's kind of a different taste.
Yeah,
Now you're grinding to get your ass kicked. You
yeah,
know,
like it was so different. Like
the
I
reward
felt
isn't there.
great, and like I never like got blown out of the water either. Like I was always very competitive. I got finished in that fight. I did get finished again, but like I would always be dominating. I'd do something, I'd be winning,
It
and
was
then
close fights.
I would make a mental like I'd have like a mental like misjudgment. Like I didn't do make the right choice, and I kept doing that over and over again, but doing the same things and getting the same results with the same team and everything. So finally, I said, okay, fuck, bro, that's too many. Like, I need to switch teams. I need to start training with other people. I need to train these things specifically, and
Because
I
obviously
just I
there's
just got to work
shifts.
something out. Yeah,
You're recognizing no one's tasked to tell you you're going in there and then coming out and with losses. So it's like I have to
hmm
hold. You're holding yourself accountable at that point about
absolutely. I've
you
always
know
been super like introspective. I've always wanted to better myself. Like, it always mattered to me that I try to do my own best, and like no one knows what that is but me. So I know how to push myself and stuff like that. So like I'd come really close to winning these fights, but like I wasn't. And eventually I started thinking like maybe well, then maybe I just suck and maybe this isn't for me. Like but at the same time, it become my life. There was no stopping MMA from being my entire life. Like everything that I do revolves around MMA. I go and I spend my time in the gym working out. Like, and if I'm gonna be doing that, I'm gonna have a fight. So there was no slowing down. Even through those losses, like I just kept telling myself, well, I'll just be more consistent and I'll get better. And I'll get better at this and I'll get better at that. And yeah, finally switching teams, I was able to like strategize a lot better with my coaches and kind of start learning like the things that I needed to learn. And they kind of guided me the right way. So big shout out to Tyler Wombles and Joe Murphy from Classic, Coach Budo Matt, 10th Planet, and now my coaches at OCRTC, Coach Jesse, Coach Optekin. Big shout out and all the love to all those guys because I feel like with this team that I have now, like they've been guiding my career the right way. I was able to prove it in my last fight, capturing that guy, taking him down,
bro.
sinking in that sub.
That's tight. So once you came over and got with that, like that you grew with that new crew, kind of.
Yeah,
Did you did you see did you see like kind of back to that kind of that reward, that personal reward where you're like, no, all right, I see what I'm getting out of it, and I feel myself being
yeah,
challenged here again, and that's tight.
exactly.
That's
I
super tight.
started feeling those rewards. Started feeling like okay, we're working hard. Like as a team, like everybody wants this shit. Everybody's trying to get it. Everybody's giving good reps. We're all giving it everything that we can, and the coaches care as well. The coaches aren't just here to say like, here's the lesson, fuck off. You know what I mean? They were there paying attention, like coming in, helping, like perfecting the little details that everybody needed. Like I've gotten a lot of help from everybody, and not only that, like because I was getting choked in a lot of these fights, my coaches suggested like, hey, you need to go do jujitsu tournaments and then you can take a fight. So I ended up winning 2 jujitsu tournaments. I got first place and I subbed everybody in those. So I subbed like 6 or 7 competitors. And then I had my
Oh yeah,
fight, and I subbed that guy too.
bro. That's so clean. Like to be like, hey, we're not gonna sit here and keep you working where we can know we can keep getting good at this stuff. It's like, no, you need to go get good on those
Yeah,
aspects, and then
yeah,
and train at something just that there's like a reward for it. There's it's a real competition. There's a loss, you lose, you're out of the tournament, but also it keeps your blood in it, and you're like, fuck it, let's go. Like, and then when you come back, you're like, I'm not even about to sleep this fall. I'm not got it.
yeah.
That's tight.
Yeah,
But
man. Like getting comfortable everywhere for MMA, I think was like the next really important step that I needed to do. And now, like on the ground, wrestling, on the cage, striking, like I'm comfortable everywhere.
bro, that's so dope. Did you take some fights before you got in this new organization with that new team, or like I don't know, what was the
Nah,
lineage, or did you
yeah.
kind of like
So
be like,
I started with Combate Global. I've had 4 fights with them so far, and I'm about to go on my fifth, September 30th. So,
bro, that September 30th date really falls through.
right, yeah. I'm about to go make somebody else blind on that day.
Bro, that's a good luck date for you. How did it go? Like going from like having your trainers be like, hey, you want this fight, to being like, hey, this is an organization that's doing something. It has like I'm sure probably the second biggest safely. It has
Yeah.
huge numbers. The second biggest, um, fight organization, especially doing like Latin numbers in Latin
Yeah, I was gonna
America.
say in Latin America, it's probably the biggest organization.
Bro, that's insane. The numbers it does. Like I looked after our first partnership on a fight. We were so
Hmm.
hyped to be behind you. Like I looked at it and I was like, bro, like the numbers are crazy.
Yeah.
Like the
They're getting
numbers
like
are.
millions of viewers. They're beating the UFC on like some of their shows. Like it's blowing up like insanely. I think that their Facebook marketing is really working out, especially for the Latin American side. They're huge on Facebook on that side.
Dude, that's tight. Like, was it crazy for your parents to see you on, like, on a promotion like that? Even
Oh
though, yeah, like even on the
yeah.
undercard, they were like, "Bro, that's Unification. Like, that's our boy right there." Like,
Yeah.
like we seen hella
It
shit
meant
on.
everything. It meant everything. Yeah, man. They like sent me videos of like them watching me, and I
Dude,
was just
that's so
like,
tight.
damn, bro. Like I did that shit. That's cool. Then, I mean, not only them, like all of my Latin American family. I have family in Sonora, in Mecamixtle, Sonora. I have family like over there near Hermosillo. I have family still in Mexicali. So like they all got to see that like on their TV.
On TV. Like,
Yeah,
that's
literally.
great. Yeah, that's good. That's not like on the app or on
Hmm.
Paramount. That's on TV right there.
Saw it on TV.
That's primetime TV appointment. Like that they bumped whatever the game show tonight was,
Yeah,
whatever the novella was, and now it's tonight, and that's
exactly. They bumped the novella.
and now
This
it's like,
time, actually, the broadcasting channel or one of the broadcasting channels for the fights on the 30th is Canal Cinco. And back in the day, so like for me, I never grew up with cable. So it was like Channel 32 was Canal Cinco in
that was like the
Mexicali.
basic cable.
And that was where I watched Dragon Ball. That's where I watched Dragon Ball. That's where I watched Dragon Ball Z, GT. That's where I watched like all my childhood cartoons, all my childhood TV shows, like everything that was translated or dubbed from like English to Spanish was on Canal Cinco. So like for me to be able to fight on that same
Oh,
channel,
that's
I was like growing
huge,
up watching. It's like being able to fight on Nickelodeon or something. You know what I mean?
bro. That's so huge. That's so huge, man. Like
Yeah,
you've
man. When I
had,
when I saw that announcement, I was like, damn, that's kind of unbelievable, like how that came about.
bro. That's like That's like you got to get the poster of that. We got to find online, like if someone
Yeah.
can send us the poster of that
Hmm.
from the marketing materials. That's so tight, bro. Like how many are you on a contract over there for a certain number of fights, or is it kind of fight to
Uh,
fight basis?
I've actually been going fight to fight, which has worked out super well for me. I manage myself at the moment, so like going on fight to fight basis and being able to like look at this promotion's pitch or like what this one offers or what these people offer has been like a freedom that I gained recently. So yeah, I was talking to a couple other promotions, but usually Combate Global is the one paying the most, and it treats us the best. So they fly me out, they pay for the hotel, they feed us meals every day, they give us like gallons of water and an unlimited amount. And the staff treats me like super, super nice. Like I have no complaints about the staff. Like everybody's a big sweetheart. Their photographer is amazing. Big shout out Scott Hirano, my friend Monica, Heather, like yeah, their staff is incredible. The matchmakers, Arafat, Tony, like everybody that I've worked with from Combate has been magnificent. Like I have nothing but good things to say about that promotion as far as they've treated me.
Bro, that's super tight because I'm sure there's like a lot of kids like not sure which way they want to go, and they're like, to even just hear like it's even in any industry, like I have my hands in a couple different pots, and it's like it's hard to go ask somebody like, hey, bro, like is it cool over there? Like like
Yeah.
does a check come through? Like are they gonna fuck me? Like when I get there, is the room there? Am I sharing it with the guy I'm
Yeah.
fighting? Like like
What if there's no water for me, but they give water to that guy? Yeah.
bro, like stuff you've been through where now you're like, bro, like I can respect my craft and know that
hmm
they want me to put on the best show possible, and
Yeah.
I come in like you're excited to perform for the fans, for them, for your team, for everybody
Yeah.
because they put you in a great position.
That's something that's so dope that you bring that up because yeah, like it totally does. Like I never really like thought about it, like, but absolutely, it makes me want to fight better for them because they treat me so well. Like I want to have like an amazing fight, an amazing performance that they're proud of. Like, oh, we brought him, we took care of him, and he took care of us.
Bro, that is so tight. That's so tight to know. Like, bro, so many people don't get taken care of so many places that it's like,
hmm
in any industry, in any walk of life, that when you're like, hey, I get taken care of and I go out and perform at a high level, I'll lay it all out on the line. I don't want to go put on a boring fight. I don't want to go put on a war with this guy. I want to
That's
go
right.
put on a smart war with this guy so that you guys want to bring me back and the fans want me here and that they know that I'm not just out here collecting a check real quick and then I bought out
Exactly.
this bum that's gonna get slapped real quick and no
That's right.
disrespect to some of the guys that come out and are tacticians and just go to work and sleep you instantly, like hey, it
Yeah.
happens, but to be also be like, hey man, I want to come out and do the same thing and give everybody back home something to watch, give everybody worldwide, on the app,
Hell yeah.
on the guys fighting overseas. That's not like what that's one of those channels that it's everywhere. It's
Yeah.
everybody gets Paramount. It's piped in worldwide to prisons to
Yeah, man.
airplanes
Everybody's
to
got like some kind of subset. Like if it's not Paramount Plus, then you can watch it on this or that channel. Like even Chile, I mean, obviously all of Latin America has it available, and even like countries that might not have it on their TV, the whole stream is live on Facebook for free. So they
oh
definitely
shit,
are getting
bro.
those views too.
Bro, we're gonna definitely have a link right here for the Facebook. I don't know if it's gonna be clickable, but for
Yeah.
sure we'll have Combate Global's
Oh yeah,
link to
man.
go to the
Check it
page and
out.
everything for sure. Dude, that's so tight, bro. So your fight's on the 30th. Who's the guy you're fighting again?
Waskar Cruz. He's a
Waskar Cruz.
5'4". He's about 4 years older than me or something like that. 5 years, I think. I think he's like 38 or something. But yeah, everything I have to say, like, no disrespect, no disrespect to anybody, but like more than anything, no fear to anybody. Like I'm not afraid of nobody. You can get respect, but like I'm gonna treat you like I want to treat you in there.
Bro, I'm excited to see your evolution in the cage and
Thank you,
where you're
man.
going with it, and like, bro, to hear your story, it's so dope to know like you committed to it and you're like, nah, bro, I could have just gone back to you could have landed off the skydiving and gone back to
Yeah,
the
we come
school
back to work.
district. I mean, like, it's cool.
Just
The
rolled
house is
on with that.
paid. It's cool.
hmm
I'm getting a promotion. I do even less. I'm just gonna kick it. And you're like, no, bro. I want to challenge myself. And luckily you had a girl that supported you through that. And
hmm
you guys, managed to run it out together. And on the 30th, your cardio's definitely gonna be up because I know he's not
Goddamn right.
running. I know he's not running that
Yeah.
20 hours a day, my guy.
That's right,
You gotta
bro.
make sure you're dialed in, bro.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
yeah.
man. Shout out your sponsor. Shout out anywhere everyone can follow
Yeah.
you. Anywhere they can tap in with your story.
Yes,
Anything
sir.
they can do.
First thing I want to shout out, obviously, Green Dragon. Thank you, Troy, for supporting me
That's
again from the
family. You
beginning
know
of
what
my
it is.
combate. Like, means a lot to me through my evolution, like, and still sticking with me, like, through it all. Like, I can't wait to put on a show for you guys either, straight up.
Bro,
So,
we love
big
watching your
shout out to
fights. The
you.
boys upstairs love watching your fights. They're like,
Hey.
oh, your boy's got that dog in him, bro. Like, everybody
Damn
loves
right,
that.
bro. Damn right. And I'm gonna
We're
bring it
with
out.
you.
I'm gonna bring it out September 30th. So yeah, big shout out to you guys again. Thank you so much for everything. Big shout out to Silo Realm, my sports therapist, Sik Montserrat. She's actually in Tijuana, but like that's been a huge help for me. Silo Realm, my microdose sponsor, like big help too, like unlocking different potentials, like different like streams of thought that I think have helped me like actually become a better martial artist, better
No,
person
very
in
important.
general. Yeah. That self-help, for guys out there especially, just gonna say that too. Quick shout out. Like if you need somebody to talk to, if you need to seek help, if you know that you should talk to somebody, you probably should, man. Um don't just let it be a friend. Like seek professional help if it's possible, and yeah, not just males but like
Huge
females
support.
too. Like yeah, mental health, it should be as important as physical health, although it's not always the most important. But I think that mental health, and feeling good with yourself, not just about yourself but with yourself, being comfortable with yourself, is really important. So
Vital.
big shout out for that. Big shout out Team Shorty Foundation. As I mentioned earlier, they're huge foundation. My friend Jose Shorty Torres started, that actually helps people fight and get into martial arts and continue their careers, especially because it can be really hard when you're getting paid almost nothing.
No, most definitely. That's definitely a passion project for sure. We'll have some links for
Yeah.
that.
So yeah, classic fight team, 10th Planet Mission Viejo, OCRTC. Um, I got my new water sponsor from Megan. That's Divine Body Solutions here in Costa Mesa. I got my boy, of course, Gregorio, the Knockout Bakery. That guy makes some of the most amazing cheesecakes and protein bites and meal preps that I've ever had in my life. He's
That's
super
so
passionate
important.
about everything he does. So big shout out to him, and maybe you should talk to him too. Like that's a guest I'd recommend
Oh,
for
bro,
you
for
as well.
sure. For sure. Let's do it. Let's line it up.
Heck
Whoever we
yeah,
got,
heck
I'm with
yeah,
it, bro.
heck
I
yeah.
love it.
So big shout out to them. Body Buddy Balms. It's a balm actually that helps your tattoo with any pain. It is medically infused with THC as well. So shout out to them as well. Hope I'm not forgetting. Oh, hot suit, hot suit. If you guys are interested in getting a sauna suit, you can use the code Stay Up, and you'll actually get 20% discount on your hot suit.
Bro, I saw that honestly, and I was gonna ask, what's up with that? Is that like a? I saw that on your Instagram, like one of the first things you promoted. I was like, dang, your
Yeah,
website shoots me straight to this hot suit. Like,
that's
I see the
right.
ads, but is that like a big part of training nowadays? Is
Yeah, man. For
getting
me, for
that
me
sweating?
personally, now that I've gone down to a newer weight class, so when my first amateur fight, when we started talking, I was at 155, and then my careers, I had mostly had at 145, and then most of my losses happened at 135. So another thing that I did for the last one was switch it up, and I actually dropped down to 125, something that
Another challenge.
I never thought I would do. As a 23-year-old college student, I weighed 210 pounds. So
Dang.
I never thought I'd make 125.
Whoa, that's intense. That's a challenge
Yeah.
in and of itself, but then to keep going down again and say, all right, well, my body's going to be, I'm going to dedicate to getting down to 125 and dominating at 125.
Damn right, bro. And it feels goddamn good. Like it felt like everything like in the gym feels easy. That's what it felt like in the fight. And I hope it just continues to be that way.
Dude, that's so tight, man. Well, congrats, bro. I'll make sure we plug all everyone we listed, your team, all your locations and stuff. Make sure you guys
Thank you,
follow him at
bro.
Stay Up Carlos right here. Make sure you guys all tune in. The fight's on Facebook. Ain't no reason that we can't grab it. Definitely, I'm recording tonight at the Green Dragon Lounge. We'll have the fight at the lounge for sure. As always, as
Fuck
all
yeah.
of your fights, we always have them right here. So if you guys need
Wow,
anything
super
else,
dope. I'm gonna let my people know to head over there.
bro, for sure, for sure. Yeah, we always have it like on at least on at least two TVs like up here, bro.
Badass.
Downtown Palm
Badass.
Springs. Go to I think CV Green Dragon is our Instagram. Check
Mm-hmm.
that out. You can find the address, and yeah, just get in here, bro. The 30th, we're all gonna be up here going hard, bro.
Fuck yeah, man. Thank you so much for having me. It's been such a pleasure. I know we talked forever, but like honestly, so fun. I would
Bro,
love to
hell
do it
yeah.
again anytime.
Bro,
Literally.
let's do it. Let's do it in person. Let's have you come out here after the fight. Let's do a quick
Heck
fight
yeah. Let's
recap.
go to the lounge.
Let's do it. Pull up. We'll have the celebration party right here. We'll have them rolled up.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you so much for everything. Appreciate you.
Bro, thanks for pulling up, bro. Thanks for fucking with the downstem.
Yeah, love the downstem. Shout out downstem. Shout out Green Dragon. Shout out Troy. You're the fucking man, bro. Thank
Hey,
you.
you're the man, bro. Love you. Let's go.
Love you, bro. Peace out.